All right, hello everyone. This is Chun Hao, and this video I'm doing a maths paper. This is the mathematic trial for Negeri Sembilan, and it's the 2025 paper 2. Okay, okay. Before I start, I want to mention a few things. So number one is this will be my last set. Yeah, this will be my last maths state paper I did for this batch. Yeah, so after this video, I don't know when I will upload already. Yeah, but for your batch, the batch 08, this will be my last upload. Yeah. So hopefully this video can help some of you lah. Okay, so let's begin. All right, bahagian A, number one. Diagram one shows an isosceles triangle EFG and straight line EH. Okay, I can already tell this is the Form 3, Chapter 9. It's called straight line. Garis lurus. Okay, let's read again the soalan here. Isosceles triangle EFG. Isosceles segitiga sama kaki. It means the triangle have two sides with the same length. Let's double check. EFG, ya memang betul ada dua side yang sama panjang. And tell me, if dua side ni sama panjang, what happens to this angle and this angle? Dia akan sama juga kan? Yeah, the sudut will be same also. But I'm doing straight line chapter, so I don't think the angle will be important. I'm doing straight line. So what's important here is the gradient. So tell me, when a line is like that, right? So let's say I have a box here, and this is a square, and this is sama panjang, and if I draw a line like that, that means this is 45 degree. Dia mesti exactly 45 degree, and if it's exactly 45 degree, the gradient mesti 1. The gradient must be 1, and it makes sense because the gradient formula is taking y minus y over x minus x. Basically, what you're taking is the difference y minus y, which is here, divide with this minus this. But if the distance here and here is equal, and when you divide it, you get 1. So what happens with this line is we know that the gradient is 1. And the reason for it is very simple, because this line, the vertical distance from here to here and the horizontal distance is equal. So the gradient will be 1. Yeah, even if you don't have these two coordinates, you can still know that the gradient is 1. Okay. Okay, next, they say, and a straight line EH. Okay, EH straight line. Okay, I can see it. Okay, now what? Given that the gradient of straight line EH is negative 907. Oh, this is a very important information. So let's go to EH line and label this M. M is gradient equals negative 9OH. Okay, it makes sense why it's negative, because the line is going down. When the line is going up, the gradient will be positive. When the line is going down, the gradient will be negative. Okay, now it says find the value of K. All right, where's the K? Okay, I think the K is referring to this K lah, which is the X coordinate of point F. Okay, let's tarik the X-axis. Alright, this one is surely the K. Maksudnya dia nak cari jarak dari sini sampai sini. That will be okay. Okay, what about negative 7? Okay, negative 7 is gonna be the here. Yeah, it's gonna be the Y coordinate of this point, which is point G lah. Okay. Okay, now there's a problem with this question. Yeah, there's a problem with this question, which is dia tak cukup information. Yeah, because if you try to find K with the information given here, you will realize that you akan perasan like you tak dapat cari, because to get the distance here, you first need the point E. Yeah, you first need the point E. Without point E, it's impossible, right? And there's no way for me to find point E. Sebab apa tahu? Sebab gradient untuk okay, dia ada bagi gradient EH negative 907. But if I want to find point E, I need another point yang complete on this line. Yeah, because when you're finding gradient, you always need two coordinates. Two coordinates. So if I'm trying to find one of the coordinates, I need to make sure the other coordinate has to be full and complete. Tapi dia tak bagi kan? So I think there's an issue with this question. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna change the question myself. I'm just gonna do this, and I'm just gonna put negative 7. Yeah, I'm just changing the question myself. Yeah. Yeah. So because I think that there is a problem with this question. Okay. So what I have to do, anggap ni negative 7. Okay. So now that you know this point is negative 7, and this point is the x-intercept, right? So the y coordinate would be 0. So now you can actually find point E. Yeah. So point E, you know it's the y-intercept, right? It's the y-intercept of this line. So the x will be 0, and this is y. So now you can use the gradient formula. Okay. So you try to find gradient of EH basically. So gradient of EH, you have it is negative 907. But on this side, you will do the gradient formula lah. Y minus y or x minus x. So y minus 0 and then 0 minus negative 7, which is 0 plus 7. So it becomes y equals negative 9 over 7. Okay, kosong tambah 7, 7. And then bahagi 7 hantar sana jadi darat 7. And then potong-potong y sama dengan negative 9. And when you ganti masuk, dapatlah point E. And point E punya coordinate, full coordinate adalah 0 and then negative 9. But it's not the answer yet. It's not the answer yet. Ini hanyalah point E. So apa you kena buat sekarang? Okay, I told you just now, dia nak cari K kan? K adalah jarak daripada sini sampai sini. But it can also be here until here. It's all the same. Ini semua tiga sama kan? And by the way, they got put two lines here. That means, yeah, this is an isosceles triangle. Maksudnya jarak sini dengan jarak sini sama. So now you can actually find the jarak here because this is negative 9, this is negative 7. So ada berapa unit sini? 2 kan? Because negative 7 nak sampai negative 9 kena turun lagi 2 kotak ataupun 2 unit. So apa nilai K? 2 unit sini. And since this is 2, this is 2 also because dia sama. So ini 2, ini pun 2. So K adalah 2 negative 7 lah. So the K is actually 2. Okay, I'll write some booking to show that it's 2. So how you get the 2 is basically you just take negative 7 minus with negative 9. And then you will get positive 2. Yeah, because you're trying to find jarak from here to here. Nak tahu jarak daripada sini ke sini, awak ambil je negative 7 tolak dengan negative 9. Besar tolak kecil kan? Negative 7 nilai yang besar. So nilai besar tolak nilai kecil, dapatlah dia punya jarak di antara tu. So K nilai dia adalah 2. Okay, so that's how we do it. Okay, sekarang kita buat B. Okay, they want to find x-intercept of straight line EF, pintasan X bagi garis lurus EF. Okay, jom kita pergi cari dulu mana kedudukan pintasan X ini. So, x-intercept of straight line EF. Okay, you don't simply tell me like, oh sir, this one. Hey, come on, you read carefully the question. They want x-intercept of EF. This is EH punya garisan. You have to go EF. So, which one is the EF line? It's this one, right? And tell me where's the x-intercept. Not negative 9, Negative 9 is the y-intercept. X-intercept is pintasan X. Maksudnya you kena panjangkan garisan supaya dia potong paksi X. And you can see it now, it's here. And I don't know what is this. I don't know what value is this. I don't know. It's a question mark, right? Okay, but surely it will be bigger than 2 lah. Confirm dia akan more than 2 sebab K adalah 2 sini. So this value must be bigger than 2 and I'm sure the answer come out later will be more than 2. But how do we know whether it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 or 11? How do we know? Okay, very simple. First, find out the equation of this line first and then ganti y kosong. That's all. Because this is x-intercept, dia punya y mesti kosong. So what you can do is find out the equation of this line and you have plenty information to find the equation. Yeah, you have the gradient, you have y-intercept, no problem. So you can just find the equation and then ganti y kosong, dapatlah x-intercept. So remember, if the exam asks you to find x-intercept, you just take the full equation, sub y equals 0, and you will get it. That's all. Yeah, that's the general procedure to find x-intercept. It's always the procedure actually. Yeah, it's actually not just for this question, it's for all cases. Whenever they ask for x-intercept, that's always the method. Take the full equation, ganti y sama dengan kosong, x-intercept. So, but I don't have the full equation, so let's find out the equation. Okay, this is a Senghet line, so the equation will surely be y equal mx plus c, and you need the m and c, but I have both. I have both. The m is 1, the c is negative 9. So it's so good. The m, I just letak 1, and the 1x is just x line, and then plus c is minus 9. I told you already, right? Why the m is 1 just now. Yeah, of course, you want to cari, again, take this point, and then ambil y tolak y bagi x tolak x. Boleh juga kalau you nak buat sekali lagi. You will get 1 also. But I already explained to you why is it 1 just now, right? Because the vertical distance and the horizontal distance from here is equal. So when you divide, when you take y minus y bahagi x minus x, you mesti dapat 1 lah. Alright, with the full equation, now you can find the x-intercept. You just have to sub y equals 0. So when y equals 0, 0 equals x minus 9. And since you're trying to find x, and your x already positive, so I'll leave it here, negative 9, go there, dapat 9. Okay, so what is the x-intercept? 9, 0. I mean, the full coordinate is 9, 0. But they want the x-intercept, so I should write like that. X-intercept equals to 9. Yeah, I recommend writing it like this. Okay. If they ask for coordinate, then only we write bracket 9, 0. Okay, for this, I'll write like that. Okay, this is good enough. Hope you understand. I will continue. Okay, number 2 is very obvious from 4 chapter 7. This is called graph of motion. Dalam bahasa Melayu, graph gerakan. Okay, diagram 2 shows a distance time graph of Hilman's journey from a recreation park to his house by bicycle. Okay, this is obviously a DTG, distance time graph. So you can see from the y-axis distance, and please look at the unit when you're doing the exam question. I always say the same thing one in all my videos. If you watch my videos regularly, you already know what I will say. I always say the same thing. Yeah, look at the unit. Distance in meters. Oh, time is in minutes. Okay, there are times where you have to convert the unit one. Sometimes you have to convert to hour or second depending on what they want. Okay, yeah, but let's not convert anything first. Let's study the how to say study the graph first. So for DTG, I always said highlight. You can always highlight and write down the location. So they say is Hilman's journey from recreation park to his house by bicycle. So you can see this is first line here. What happens is it starts moving. It starts moving. And then here is when it stops. Yeah, because the distance is not changing, so it stops. And then here is keep moving forward, right? So what we can do, we can actually highlight. Yeah, for DTG, I always teach like that one. I always teach the same way. Yeah, I always highlight. Yeah, just look at all my previous videos, you'll know this. So you can highlight this, and it's from recreation park. So recreation park, and then to his house by bicycle. So where is his house? Okay, I'm assuming it's here. Yeah, I think it's here, the final one, right? Okay, here I think maybe it's just stop halfway to rest or something lah. So I think it's yeah, yeah, it's reasonable to think that it's here lah. Takkanlah dia house ini, right? Because if we go to house here, then what is this? Yeah, then what is this? Yeah, so I think it's like that. Okay, now we can baca the soalan A. Alright, calculate the average speed in meter per minute. The unit, look at the unit of Hillman's journey in the first 55 minutes. Alright, first 55 minutes, obviously talking about this line, but they want average speed. You don't go and find gradient. You don't go and find gradient. Okay, you will only do gradient when they ask for speed. When they ask for speed in distance time graph. Yeah, because the formula for speed is distance bahagi time. And if you want to find speed, you use gradient. Okay, but they're asking for average speed, and the average speed formula is always dTd divided by tt, total distance bahagi total time. So that's the correct way. Okay, okay, walaupun dia ada perkataan total dekat sini, total distance, tapi you tak boleh ambil total untuk semua journey sebab dia dah cakap untuk first 55 minit saja. So for the first 55 minutes, what is the total distance? 5225. And make sure the unit is in meters, because we want our answer to come out in meter per minute. So definitely the total distance must be in meter. This must be in minutes if you want the unit to come out like that, right? Okay, now for the time taken, it will be 55, but it's in minutes already, so you don't have to do anything with the unit. Tak payah bahagi 60 or darab 60 dah. So just tekan benda ni, you will get the answer. Alright, let me press the calculator and see what I got here. Alright, my calculator give me 95. So I'm just gonna write 95, and I recommend writing the unit also. So it is be meter per minute. Okay, which is what the unit they want lah. Usually meter is usually with second one. Yeah, meter kawan dia selalu second. Kalau kilometer kawan dia hour. Tapi untuk this question, they want it in minutes. So we have to follow the question. So it's very important to read the soalan and check the unit, especially you're doing this chapter punya soalan. Okay, I'm gonna continue. B. Given that the average speed for the whole journey is 66 meter per minute, find value of y. Same method lah, same formula. Still the same formula, average speed equals to total distance divided by total time. Okay, okay, but the average speed this time is given is 66, and the unit is meter per minute. That means the total distance have to put in meter, total time has to put in minutes. And guess what? This is for the whole journey. So what is the total distance for whole journey? It will be y. Yeah, because sini sudah gerak 5225 meter, sini stop, and then sini gerak lagi tak tahu berapa sebab tak bagi y. So the total actually is sudah gerak y lah. The total distance is y meters. So with that being said, I can write y on top, and it's already in meters, so don't do anything with the unit. Okay, total time in minutes, that's gonna be 150, and it's already the unit I want, which is minute. So now it's perfect already. Just tekan 66 times 150. and automatic you will get the answer in meters. So it's 9,900 and automatic is in meters. Automatic. Okay. Let me tell you why it's automatic in meters. Is because this thing is in meter per minute. So imagine you're taking meter per minute, you times 150, which is the minutes. So what happens is cut, you left with meter. That's why the unit comes out in meter. And if you look at the y-axis, the unit is meter. So that's the answer. All right. Okay, number 3. What chapter is this? Let me scan through quickly. Okay, looks like simultaneous. Yeah, so it could be the form 1 lah. Yeah, you learn this in form 1. Simultaneous equation dalam BM persamaan serentak. This one you have to do the penggantian penghapusan. Substitution method or elimination. Okay, let's read. The sum of two numbers is 75. The difference between the two numbers is 33. Find values of two numbers. Okay, yeah, it's definitely simultaneous. But you have to write the two equation first. And what I will do is I will let the two numbers be x, y first. Yeah, you have to let become x, y first. Because then only it will be easy for me to write the equation. So I will just okay, later I have to find out the difference, right? So difference usually kita ambil besar tolak kecil. So what I will do here is I will let the bigger number. Okay, let x equals y equals x be let's say y the bigger number lah. Actually it doesn't matter lah. You want to jadikan x bigger number also can. Okay. So I will let y be the bigger number, x will be the smaller number. Okay. Ataupun nak tulis dalam bahasa Melayu, x jadikan dia nombor yang kecil, y jadikan nombor besar lah. Okay. So the sum is 75. Okay, the sum you can write x plus y plus x doesn't matter because when you take the sum, it's commutative. That means like you will write x plus y as y plus x also, it means the same thing. But the difference has to be big minus small. Besar tolak kecil. So since I jadikan y the bigger number, so it should be y minus x equals 33 lah. Okay. And then find the values of the two numbers. All right, so let's start. Okay, they never say which method. Okay, but I'll tell you all your option. I'll tell you all the option you have. So you can either use the substitution method. Okay, number 1, you can either use the substitution method, the cara penggantian. Number 2 is the elimination method. Okay, and then number 3 is you can also go for the matrix method. Okay, which I will not do lah. I don't think it's a smart decision to use the matrix method because this I don't think this is what I don't think orang yang buat soalan ni dia apa the intention is want us to do matrix method lah. Usually we don't do matrix method one unless it's a matrix question and they say using matrix method. So I think I will go with one of this, and looking at the equation, I think I will do substitution. Never mind lah, do elimination also can mah. Yeah, I'll just do penghapusan. Yeah, the reason why I do penghapusan is because the y and y sudah boleh hapus. Okay. Yeah, when you do penghapusan, you kena make sure dia punya perkali sama dulu. Kalau tanda tak sama tak apa. Yang plus minus tu tak sama tak apa. Yang penting is perkali kena sama. So now sudah sama. So kita just susun je. Yeah, we just susun, stack them on top of each other like that. But this one we have to write x first. And then nothing before y means plus y equals 33. And then kita buat penghapusan. Okay, let's say saya nak hapus y. So y dengan y kalau nak hapus, you kena tolak. Ya, kena tolak. Kalau tambah tak jadi. Kalau tambah nanti y tambah y tak jadi 2y. Okay, but actually kalau nak hapus x pun boleh tau. I just realised because for x dia punya perkali pun sama. Tapi dia punya tanda tak sama kan. Okay, tak apa. Tanda tak sama boleh hapus juga. You tambah je. Kalau kali sama tapi tanda tak sama, tambah. Okay. Okay, but my plan was to hapuskan y, so I just tolak. So y tolak y jadi kosong. X tolak jadi tambah. X tambah x. X 75 plus 33. That's gonna be 108. So x equals 54. Is it? Yeah. Yeah. So with your x value now, you can substitute back into one of this equation to find the y. So I'm just gonna write when x equals 54. Okay, you can sub into equation atas pun boleh, bawah pun boleh. Let's sub yang atas lah. So x tambah y sama dengan 75, and then x tu 54. So y sama dengan 75 minus 54, 21. Okay, 21. Okay, soalan suruh cari values of the two numbers. So these are the two numbers lah, 54 and 21. So I'm just gonna write dot dot dot, and then for the last baris, final answer, I'll write 54 and 21. Okay, that's all. Number 4, let's go. A quadratic equation. Okay, I know already from 4 chapter 2. Chapter 1. Ya, form 4 bab 1 kan, you belajar kuadratik. Okay, the quadratic equation has roots x equals 2, x equals negative 3. Roots means the x solution ataupun dia punya pintasan x. Ya, dia punya pintasan x. Okay, if the equation is in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, okay, this is what we call the general form, bentuk am. And the y-intercept is negative 12. Huh? That means the c is negative 12 lah. Yeah, and then find the values of A, B, and C. Okay. So guys, if the value of y-intercept is negative 12, that means the C is negative 12 because C will always be the y-intercept value. Okay. So now I just need my A value and B value, right? But how do you find that? Dia ada bagi roots. Okay. Kalau saya ganti X dalam sini, dia akan ada tinggal A dengan B. So nanti negative 3 again lah. Okay guys, there is actually two method on my mind now. One method is taking the two sub inside the X, dapat satu equation yang ada A dengan B, and then repeat the same process with negative 3, and then both the two equation with A and B you do simultaneous. That's one of the way. Another method is a bit different, which is you straight away form the equation from these two roots, because it's possible. I'll show you now. X equals 2, X equals negative 3, that's the roots, right? Yeah, you can actually form equation when you have the roots, because we all know when we factorize, right before you get the x, the 2 actually is on this side. So you can pindah balik jadi minus 2, and then minus 3 pindah balik jadi x plus 3. And then what you do is basically you just expand it lah. But I'm not sure whether this method works or not. Okay, so I'm just gonna try it and see lah. Okay, so x times x is x squared. Yeah, basically you're just doing it in reverse lah. Yeah, usually when you factorize using calculator, you do it like that, right? But this one, it's like you do it in reverse. So x times x, x squared, x times 3 is plus 3x. Yeah, you kembang macam ni kan? And then negative 2 times x, negative 2x, negative 2 times 3, negative 6 equals 0. So final answer, x squared plus 3 minus 2 is plus 1x minus 6 equal 0. So that's the answer. A sama dengan 1, B sama dengan 1, C sama dengan negative 6. Okay, but I'm looking at the schema, and the schema actually gives a different answer. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try the other method here and compare the answer and see, see what's the issue here. Okay, the other method is just to sub the x inside lah. Yeah, you can do that. The reason why is because the roots means the x. So if I say x is 2, it means you can just sub inside like that. Okay. Okay, so negative 12 equals 0 like that, and then the x is 2 like that. Yeah. But make sure you take the whole thing equals 0 lah after you sub, because this is the x-intercept. X-intercept dia punya y mesti kosong. But this one they already write equal kosong for you, so you just sub inside, the whole thing equals 0 like that. But make sure the c you don't write c lah, you write negative 12 because you know that it's negative. Okay, 2 square gives you 4, so 4a plus 2b minus 12 equals 0. Okay, I think you cannot do nothing much you can do here. Let's repeat the same step. This time it's ax squared plus bx plus c equals plus c is negative 12. So minus 12 equals 0. And this time the c is ne 3, ne 3. Negative 3 squared is 9, so 9a minus 3 times 3 minus 3b minus 12 equals 0. Okay, looking at this and this, I know I have to do simultaneous. There's no other way. Yeah, sebab ada dua unknown. Okay, you can use substitution or elimination. But let's kecilkan dulu. So 4a, 2b, 12. Boleh bahagi 2. So bahagi 2, 2a, bahagi 2, 1b. Negative 12 move there jadi positive 12, and then bahagi 2 jadi 6. Here I bahagi 3. So 9 divided by 3 is 3a. Bahagi 3 dapat negative 1b. Negative 12 I pindah dulu. Lepas pindah jadi positive 12, baru bahagi 3 jadi positive 4. Okay. And now I think I will do penghapusan again. Yeah, because there's 3 method. Remember just now I told you for simultaneous boleh buat substitution, elimination ataupun matrix. Okay, but this one I will do the penghapusan also. Yeah, sebab dia punya susunan dah okay dah. And I can also hapuskan B dah. Sebab dia punya kali sudah sama. Tanda tak sama tak apa. Kalau tanda tak sama just tambah saja. Okay, I told you just now in question 2 already. I mean question 3. Soalan nombor 3 pun is simultaneous. So I explain it just now already. Okay, negative b plus b boleh hapus jadi kosong. 3a plus 2a, 5a. 4 plus 6, 10a equals 10 divided 5, 2. Ganti balik, 2 times 2 plus b equals 6. 4 plus b equals 6, b equals 2. Okay, you can use your calculator to help you lah for this part. Okay, after getting your a and b, how do you get the c? The c is this one lah. So the a is 2, the b is 2, the c is negative 12. Okay. All right. We have a problem. Why is the answer here and the answer here not the same? Okay. In my opinion, this is considered correct also. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. Because if you try to put in the A, eh? Mm, okay. If I try to put in the ABC back inside, will I get roots 2 and negative 3 and y-intercept negative 12? The answer is no, right? Yeah, the answer is no. Okay. Yeah, I think this one, I think better not go with this one. Lah. You know why? Because I just realized if you put the ABC back inside, you will get back the roots x equals to x negative 3. Confirm. That one confirm. Okay. But you don't get the y-intercept negative 12 because if you sub this, your y-intercept is actually negative 6. So I feel like this is the wrong way. Okay. Yeah. So I think I will go with this. Lah. Yeah, because this is much more accurate. Because when you sub back the ABC back into the equation and you try to factorize to get the roots, confirm you get this, and also the y-intercept is negative 12. Yeah, so I think this is the much better. This is the correct way to do it. Okay, all right. That's all. Hope you understand. Okay, number 5. This looks like the which chapter? Expenditure. Okay, looks like the Form 4 chapter 10. The financial management chapter, pengurusan kewangan. But I'm not sure, so let's just read the question and check. Aaron has just started working as an administrative assistant in a company. Okay, I don't care. His monthly income is 2,500 per month. Okay, I care. This one is important because this is the monthly income and we call this active income. Okay, he plans to manage his finances wisely so that he can save up a down payment to buy a motorcycle to make it easier for him to get to work. So this is the goal. You want to save up for down payment for the motorcycle. Okay. So the goal is only the down payment. Table 1 shows Aaron's total monthly expenses. So these are all the perbelanjaan, the expenses. Okay, expenses ada dua jenis, fixed and variable. Fixed and variable. Okay, renting a room is a fixed expenses. Because when you rent a room to stay there, yeah, it's fixed. You have to pay the rent. You cannot control the amount. Food and drinks, you can control the amount by changing your spending behavior. So that is variable expenses. Public transportation, that's variable, I think. Yeah, variable. And then utility, internet bill. Okay, utility is definitely variable. Yeah, because these are like the what gas apa bill, electric bill, air semua tu lah. Entertainment definitely variable. Definitely variable. Variable in BM is called perbelanjaan tak tetap. Okay, education loan payments. This one is fixed. Yeah, this one is fixed. Yeah, this one you cannot. Every loan payment is always fixed one. Okay. If Aaron wants to save 20% of his income each month to pay the down payment, can he afford to do so? Give your justification. Okay, save 20% of his income. Can he afford to do so? Let's see. Okay, if I take 20% times with 2,500, what do I get? Let's calculate that quickly. 20% times 2,000 because 2,500 is the monthly income, right? So I can cut. 25 times 20 is RM 500. So 20% of your income, 500, to pay the down payment. But how much is the down payment? Dia tak cakap pun. Uh, okay. Uh, oh, the down payment is 500 lah. Okay. Ya, jika Aaron menyimpan 20% dari setiap bulan untuk membayar wang pendahuluan. Wait, he saved for how long to buy the thing? He plans to manage so that he can save up to make it. Okay, they never said how long. Okay, tak apa. Let's find out the cash flow first. Yeah, let's find out the cash flow first because we can do that, right? So the total monthly income is 2,500 minus with all the expenses, right? So I'll minus with 600, minus with 520, minus with 150, minus with 350, minus with 250, minus with 200. Okay, you have to wait for me a bit because I will press this in my calculator. Okay, let's see what I get. 150 minus 350 minus 250 minus 200. Okay, I got 430 in my calculator. So RM 430 is the cash flow. But I don't really understand this part. Aaron wants to save 20% each month to pay the down payment. So this guy wants to save 20%. But 20% of the income is 500. Right? So not enough lah. Yeah, it's not enough, right? Yeah, because the cash flow is 430, and if you want to save 500, that's just not possible. That's not possible. Yeah. Yeah. So can he afford to do so? We say no lah. So we said no first, and then we explain the reason. Since 430, which is the cash flow, is less than 500, therefore, okay, he cannot afford to yeah, he cannot afford to do so lah. Okay? He cannot afford to do so. Okay. Kalau saya akan just tulis macam ni saja. Okay. Alright. I think this is good enough. Let's continue. Okay, this is definitely logical reasoning from 4 chapter 3. Okay, so 6a. Complete the statement below by using quantifier all or some to form a true statement. So you want to make it into a true statement. So all is semua, some is sebilangan. Okay, all prime numbers are odd numbers ataupun some prime numbers are odd numbers. Okay, actually some prime numbers are odd numbers. Because what is prime number? Prime number is nombor yang ada dua faktor. Two factors. Numbers that has two factors. It means nombor ni hanya boleh bahagi dengan dia sendiri and bahagi dengan satu. And what is the world's smallest prime number? 2. This is the world's smallest prime number, followed by 3, followed by 5, followed by 7. 4 cannot because 4 can divide by 2. 6 also cannot because can divide by 2. 8 also cannot because can divide by 2. Basically, even number memang bukan prime lah. Even number, nombor genap memang bukan nombor perdana, prime numbers. Sebab dia boleh bahagi 2. Except 2. Kecuali 2. 2 is the only even number that is prime number. 2 excuse me. 2 is the only nombor genap yang considered nombor perdana. Yeah. And at the same time, 2 is also the world's smallest prime number. Okay. So the next one here will be, okay, 9 tak boleh. Sebab boleh bagi 3. 10 tak boleh. 11. Okay, and so on lah. Okay, we don't have to waste too much time. So basically, not all prime numbers are odd numbers. Okay, some. Okay, yeah, there's actually one prime number that is not odd, which is 2. Okay, and one more thing student always confused about is the 1. Okay, 1 is not prime number, guys, because 1 only has one factor. Yeah, 1 dia special sikit, the other satu factor, so we don't call it prime. Prime numbers must have 2 factors. Okay, okay, I think that's it for the A. B, complete premise 2 of the following argument based on the given conclusion. Okay, I see the first word is if, then. Okay, so I think what they mean here is the deductive argument. Yeah, to be more specific, it's a deductive argument. Okay, which is you start from general and then you slowly move on to specific. Okay, you start with general and then you finish it with a specific conclusion. Okay, so if 7m bigger than 28, then m is bigger than 4. Premise 2 tak bagi, and then says 7m smaller equals 28. So this is your P, this is your Q. And the premise 2 never give you. And this one actually is the P, but they did something here. They did the negation. Ya, dia sudah buat negation. Dalam bahasa Melayu is the penafian. So when you do negation P here, that means here you have to do negation Q. That means you have to write what? M bigger than 4, you kena buat negation. And bila buat negation, the symbol for it will be smaller equals 4. Macam tu. Okay. Yeah, so kalau bigger, lawan dia adalah smaller or equals. Okay, make sure you know that. Yeah. Alright, that's all. And by the way, I want you to know this is form number 3. Yeah. Ya, untuk deductive argument ada 3 form. Form number 1, 2, 3, 3 form yang valid. And this goes into the third form. Yeah, if P then Q, and then Q is not true, P is not true. This is form number 3. And you guys, student, you all have to make sure you know about the form number 1, 2, and 3. 3 form kena tahu juga. Okay? Because sometimes they will ask you to determine whether it's valid or not. Okay. Okay, tapi soalan ni tak suruh, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. Let's go to C. Make a conclusion. Okay, I know already. This one is definitely inductive. Yeah, inductive argument. Yeah, induction. So induction dia macam mana? Dia akan bagi yang spesifik dulu, and then suruh awak tulis yang general. Or write down the formula lah, basically. So make a conclusion by induction for these numbers, which follows the following pattern. Okay, first thing is you potong semua nilai ni dulu. Because those are the answers. You don't want to see that. What you want to see is how you get these values. So 0 comes from 2 times 2 minus 4. 14. 2 times 9 minus 4, 52. 2 times 28 minus 4, 126. 2 times 65 minus 4. All right. So first thing we have to write, the sequence can be written as, okay, now you start to write down the answer. So you can see 2 bracket minus 4, 2 bracket minus 4, 2 bracket minus 4, 2 bracket minus 4. So when you generalize, it will be 2 times bracket minus 4 also. But your n, your inside bracket, you have to write n, right? But you have to make sure that this n has to be 0, 1, 2, 3 ataupun 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, your n has to be 0, 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, 3, 4. But for this case, it's 2, 9, 28, 65. So we have a problem. Yeah, because after writing this, we have to write n equals 0, 1, 2, 3 ataupun 1, 2, 3, 4 here. And if I write n here, it just is it's not correct, because if you sub the 1, 2, 3, 4 inside, you don't get back this. So that's a problem here. So we have to think about how to break it down even more lah. So the 2, 9, 28, 65, I'm gonna pecahkan lagi. And our goal is to make sure there's like 1, 2, 3, 4 ataupun 0, 1, 2, 3 also can. Okay. So we all know 2 is 2 times 1, but 2 times 2 is 8. So that doesn't work. What about power? 2 power 1. Okay, this one is 2 power 2, but 2 power 2 is 4 plus 5. 2 power 3 is 8 plus 20. 2 power 4, 6. Okay, I don't think that's the case. Yeah, because it looks weird. So what other things I can do? 2, 9, 28, 65. So the pattern is a bit hard to recognize. So what's the pattern here? 2 jadi 9, 9 jadi 28, jadi 65. Okay, I think you have to do power 3. I think you have to do power 3. Because 9, okay, if you do 2 power 3 plus 1, okay. But I think what you have to do is you have to minus 1 first. Yeah, because when you minus 1, you get 1, 8, 27. Oh, 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 whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, you all know why I so excited. Because this group of numbers is the perfect cube. Oh my god. Do you know what is called perfect cube? Okay, perfect square is nombor yang boleh square root. Perfect square kan? Kuasa dua sempurna kan? But this is what we call perfect cube. Basically, this is 1 power 3, 2 power 3, 3 power 3, 4 power 3. Yeah. So when I see this group of numbers, immediately I recognize the pattern. I know these are all cube numbers. So I think I know what I have to do now. This basically is just 1 power 3 plus 1. This is basically 2 power 3 plus 1. This is basically 3 power 3 plus 1. This is 4 power 3 plus 1. Okay. But sir, I thought you said minus 1. Yeah lah, you minus 1 here on this side So when you move back here, it's already plus 1 lah. Okay. So this is the sequence we have to write inside the bracket. But instead of writing this, we have to write n power 3 plus 1. Okay. Yeah, because the number that keeps on changing, that's the 1, 2, 3, 4, right? That's the n. And then power 3 plus 1, that one is the fixed. That one is fixed for all the baris here. So you have to fix here also. So I think this is the answer, 2n power 3 plus 1. And I think if you want to expand, I think boleh also. If you expand, it become 2n power 3 and then plus 2 minus 4, which is 2n power 3 minus 2. I think you write like that also, I think is acceptable. Okay. But I will not do that. Yeah, I think I will just leave it like this. Yeah, I'll just leave it like this. Okay. Okay, now we just have to write n equals. So we just follow lah. Starts from 1, right? 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then dot, 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 dot like that. Okay, so that is the answer. So if you try to stick the 1 sub back inside here, you get 1 power 3, which is 1, and then 1 plus 1, which is 2. So you end up with this, right? And if you sub with 2, you get 2 power 3, which is 8, 8 plus 1, which is 9, which is same as this, right? And if you do with 3, 4, you will get this and this also. Okay, so yeah, that's the correct answer. Okay, hope you understand my explanation. I'm gonna continue. Okay, number 7. Table 2 shows the water meter reading used by Aileen in July 2025. Okay, I swear I did this question before somewhere. Yeah, this thing is so familiar to me. But I didn't do it in the trial question. I did it in like some exercise book. I forgot which book already lah. but it's like long time ago already. Yeah, but this definitely rings a bell in my head, the water meter thing. Okay, Tapa, let's continue. So in 2 July 2025, the usage reading is 672. The unit is in meter cube. And then 27 July, oh, so some days have passed lah. Okay, how many days have passed? 25 days. After 25 days, it becomes 753 meter cube. So how much you already used, we will take this one minus this one lah. Okay. Okay, let's see what it says here. These readings are in base 9. Oh my god, this is in base 9. Okay. So definitely it's from 4 chapter 2 lah. Number based question, asas nombor. Okay, if 1 meter cube of water in base 10 will cost 45 cents, how much is water bill in RM that Eileen needs to pay is July? Okay, definitely we need to change to base 10. Yeah, because if it's not in base 10, then we cannot calculate the RM. Yeah, only when it's in base 10, then only I can darab with the 45 cents, right? So how do you do it is convert to base 10 dulu, ataupun you boleh tolak dulu baru convert to base 10. Because they are both in base 9, right? Yeah, they're both in base 9, and since they are both base 9, ada cara untuk tolak guna base 9. Tapi bukan guna calculator. Guna calculator tak jadi kan. You have to do it yourself. You have to use the vertical method. Okay, we have to take ini tolak dengan ni. So 753 and it's base 9. Don't forget that it's base 9. Minus with 672 base 9. Sir, kenapa minus? Untuk dapatkan dia guna berapa lah. Untuk dapatkan dia sudah, dia punya usage lah. Untuk dapatkan dia usage berapa. Okay. Yeah, because this is the initial reading. This is the final reading. So nak tahu dia sudah guna berapa antara tu, you tolak lah. Okay, but when you tolak this, tak boleh guna calculator sebab dia base 9. We have to use the vertical method. This method is called the vertical method. What's vertical method? Vertical method is where you stack the numbers on top of each other like that, and you try to minus one by one yourself macam tu. Okay. Okay, 3 minus 2, no problem, dapat 1. 5 minus 7, tak boleh, you kena pinjam dengan 7. 7 tinggal 6, and then you pinjam berapa sini? Base, sebab disebabkan dia base 9, you akan pinjam 9 sini. Yeah, for base 9 is macam tu. So when you pinjam 9, the 9 have to plus with the 5. Yeah, because yeah, it's 5 here, and then you pinjam 9, so 9 plus 5, you get 14 here. Okay, and then 14 boleh tolak 7 sekarang, dapat 7. And this is the amount of usage ataupun dia punya, dia dah guna 71, not 71 is base 9, so you kena baca dia sebagai 71. Base 9 is in meter cube. Okay, of course ada juga cara lain. Cara lain is like you convert both to base 10 dulu lah. Ada lagi satu cara, you convert both to base 10, lepas tu baru tolak. Lepas tu baru tolak, dapat base 10, and then yang tu darab dengan 45 cents. Boleh juga you dapat same jawapan, same answer. But I did it a bit different. I tolak dulu. Tapi bila saya tolak, saya akan dapat base 9. So tukar jadi base 10, and then baru darab lah. Okay, how to convert base 9 to base 10? Kita kena guna cara yang darab atau cara bahagi. Okay, when we changing a smaller base to base 10, dia mesti kena darab. Okay, the bahagi cara is when you changing base 10 to a smaller base. Okay, so ini kena darab, tapi before darab kita kena tulis something atas sini, kita kena tulis dia punya place value. So kalau base 9 dia punya place value become 9 power 0, 9 power 1. So atas darab bawah macam tu, 9 power 1 times 7 plus 9 power 0 times 1, you gonna get 64. And automatic is in base 10 already. And the unit is in meter cube also. But I'm trying to find how much in RM. So nak tahu jumlah dalam RM tu, okay, dia kata 1 meter cube is base, 1 meter cube will cost 45 cents. Kalau dalam base 10. So nak dapatkan water bill, so I'll just write water bill for July. This is for July. Yeah, for July kan. Okay, so just ambil 64 meter cube darab dengan RM 0.45. Because RM 0.45 is for 1 meter cube. So bila you darab, dia automatic dapat RM lah. Okay. So just tekan, and hopefully you get same as me, 28.8. But it's RM, so let's write 2 decimal place. 28 ringgit 80 cents basically. Okay. Okay, this is how I would do it. Okay, sudah siap. Okay, number 8, what chapter is this? Okay, I see this symbol, I know already, it's the set chapter. From 4, chapter 3 or 4? 4, I think. Yeah, 3 is logical reasoning, so this one is 4. Okay, given that the n universal is 73, okay, what's the meaning of n? N means bilangan element. Bilangan element, bilangan unsur. And dia punya bilangan dalam tu is 73 lah. And then NR is 35, it means bilangan dalam R tu 35. and NS is 41. Okay, find the difference between the maximum and the minimum value of NR intersect S. Oh my god, what is this? I've never seen this. Cari beza di antara nilai maksimum dan nilai minimum bagi NR intersect S. Okay, I tak faham this part. Nilai maksimum dan nilai minimum bagi. Alright, kalau dia ada persilangan, maksudnya dia macam ni lah. Betul lah. Ini R, ini S kan? So, nilai maksimum bagi NR intersect S. Okay, ini adalah dia punya intersect. Tapi dia nak nilai maksimum dan nilai minimum. Maksudnya, nilai yang dekat sini tak dapat dicari, dia akan ada satu range lah. Maybe. That's what I'm guessing. I'm guessing that there will be a range for uh, this value right here. Okay, let's just call it X to make things easier. Let's just call it X to make it easier. Because, yeah, that's the intersection yang kita nilai yang kita tak tahu. And this is the universal. And let's label all this. So NR 35, maksudnya sini akan jadi 35 tolak X. Ya, sebab dia tak cakap, dia tak kata, what? Wait, what if dia punya Venn diagram macam ni? Is it possible? No, right? If it's like that, means your answer will be 0 already. Yeah, for R intersect because dia tak ada overlap. So I feel like it's definitely like that. Okay, tak apa. Okay, let's continue like that. And then the NS 41, but the 41 means the whole S, including the X. So to get this part, we have to minus. So 41 minus X. Okay. Okay, yang outside, kita tak tahu. So that's a problem. So how? Okay, what if I take this one plus this one plus this one? 35 minus X plus 41 minus X. Saya akan dapat ni boleh potong tinggal kosong. But is it okay if I equals to 73 like that? They never, okay, we don't know whether there's any numbers here. Yeah, that's the problem with this question. Okay. Yeah, they never said whether the universal is R union S or not. If they got mentioned in the question, universal is R union S, that means you can erase this part already. That means this part doesn't exist. It means the universal is these three add together, right? But they never said that. But I feel like that, I think it's like that lah. I feel like mesti dia punya universal sama dengan R union S. Sebab kalau tak then tak ada cara dah. Okay. So I'm just gonna assume it's like that and just see what happens. Okay, negative X hantar sini jadi positif. Sebab saya nak cari X, so I'll try to make it positive. And then everything on the left side, tekan 35 plus 41 minus 73. So let's see what I get. Okay, my calculator give me 3. 3. Okay. So X sama dengan 3. So 3 lah. So kenapa ada maximum dengan minimum? Does that mean that so 3 is the minimum or maximum? Okay, let's think about it. Maximum Okay, I think this is the minimum. Yeah, I think this is the X minimum. Yeah, the minimum it can go is 3. Why? Because if you go 2, let's say you go 2 here, what's gonna happen is the total 3 ni takkan dapat 73 dah. And that would be very weird already. You faham kan? So I think this is the minimum lah. Then how to get the maximum? Okay, this one we can just use our brain. Because the maximum will be 35, right? Let me tell you why. Because imagine if you go higher than 35. Let's go 36. What happened here? 35 minus 36, you get negative 1. But how can the number of element be negative 1? Ini bilangan. Oh, excuse me. Bilangan dia tak boleh ada negatif. Quantity tak ada negatif. So I think the maximum is 35 lah. But sir, why not you write 41? Okay, if you write 41, then here will be negative. Yeah, you have to make sure nilai semua ni mesti positif. Okay, positif. So maximum 35 boleh lah. Sebab kalau 35 tolak 35, you dapat kosong. So I think it's possible. Yeah, it's possible for the number of element to be 0. Yeah, there are some set yang set kosong kan. Yeah, so yeah, it's possible. So I think that's the max and the minimum. So now we can find the difference. So the difference between maximum and minimum is 35 minus 3. Okay. Okay. Excuse me. So I think I'll get 32. So this question is a bit weird. Yeah, it's a bit out of the ordinary. Yeah, it's very rare to see question like this. Yeah, it's a bit like macam pelik sikit lah. Okay, but this is how I would approach it. So alright, let's continue. Okay, let's continue. Number 9. Okay, this one Okay, variation this one. Form 5 chapter 1. Dalam bahasa Melayu is called the ubahan. Okay, diagram 3 shows a linear graph. Linear means the highest power will be 1 and it will be a straight line. So you can see it's a straight line. Okay, the y-axis is y, 1 over x, and you can see it starts from 0 and then it goes up. Okay, state the relation y against x in the form of variation using symbol. Yeah, this is the symbol for relationship. I usually call it the ikan symbol. The ikan symbol. Okay, so how do you do this? Very easy, ma. You can see that when your 1 over x increases, right? Your y value is increasing also. So this is a direct relationship. They have a direct relationship. So y varies directly as 1 over x, like that. Actually, kalau dia ada 1 over, we actually read it as y varies inversely as x lah. But if you read it as y varies directly as 1 over x, technically it's also correct, but that's not the right way to say it. Yeah, the right way to say it is y varies inversely as x. That means if I change this to x, then it's a different story already. Yeah, that means it will go down already. Okay, but since they write 1 over x here, so yeah, it should be like that. Okay, let's continue. B, table 4 shows the relation between the three variables D, E, F. Okay, I can see the D, E, F here is not complete, and the D, E, F here is complete. Okay, yeah, this set dia tak ada x kan. Okay, so now bawah kata apa? D varies directly as the cube root of E and the square of F. Find the value of x. Okay, first step is to write down the ikan symbol first. So they say D varies directly. Directly means atas dengan atas. Inversely means atas dengan bawah. But this one is like both also direct. So both also you tulis atas. So directly as cube root of E. Cube root is this thing. This is what we call cube root. Punca kuasa 3. And square of F. Square means kuasa 2. So F square. But make sure this cube root only covers the E. Dia tak ada cover F kan. Dia cube root E saja. Okay. So I'm just gonna put bracket like that, so that it's like not confusing. Okay, now what you have to do is tukar dia punya ikan symbol jadi equal, tapi you kena letak constant, and usually we use K. So K darab dengan cube root E darab lagi dengan F square. And the next step is to find out the constant. Yeah, to find out the K. Because without the K, you can't find the X. Yeah. So you kena cari K dulu. So to find K, you need the complete information. You need the full information. You kena ada D, E dan F. Kena tiga-tiga ada. Kalau ada dua saja, tak boleh. Imagine kalau you ada ni dengan ni saja. Boleh cari K ah? Tak boleh kan? Sebab you kena ada tiga-tiga. D, E, F, tiga-tiga semua kena ada. So kena ganti information yang complete, yang lengkap. So which one is the information yang lengkap? Yang ini, yang ini, yang ini. So ganti 9. This one is cube root E. And what's the E here? 27. And then for the F square is 5, but don't forget the square like that. Okay, 9 equals to K. Cube root 27 kalau tekan dapat 3, 5 square dapat 25. So sekarang dia akan jadi 9 equals to K. Darab dengan 3 times 25, 75. So your K is 9 over 75. But if you press calculator, dia bagi negative, positive 3 over 25. So itulah you punya K. Tapi belum siap You kena ambil ini, rewrite. Ya, you kena tulis semula. So your formula is D equals K, which is 3 over 25, multiply with the cube root E, and then multiply with F square. Okay, sekarang kita boleh cari X. Ganti yang ni dalam. So D is 24, and then 3 over 25 times with the cube root E, which is cube root X. F squared, that's going to be 10 square. Okay, 10 square I know is 100. And then 100 saya boleh darab dengan ni tak? Tak boleh kan sebab X tak tahu. Tapi tak apa, saya boleh darab dengan sini. So tekan calculator, 100 darab 3 over 25. Okay, saya dapat 12. So dapatlah jawapan. Sini 24, and then sini tinggal 12 darab dengan cube root X. So, nak cari X sekarang So, kita kena pindah satu persatu sampai X single. Sampai X single. So, I pindah 12 dulu. So, sini tinggal cube root X. Okay, 12 hubungan ni dia darab. So, bila hantar jadi bahagi. 24 bahagi 12, 2. And then cube root hantar jadi cube. Cube means kuasa 3. Okay. So, X sama dengan 8 lah. Because 2 power 3 is 8. So, that is the answer. Okay. Alright, sudah siap. Okay, number 10. Table 3 shows the height of Azim's kite from the horizontal ground in the playground. Height of Azim's kite. So definitely these are all the vertical height lah. So height is 22, 33. Wait, what? Okay, I'm not sure which one is the x-axis, but it's okay. When the time minutes is 0 minutes, the height is 22. 2 minutes, when the minutes is 2, is 33 meters. Okay, understand? And then when it's at after 4 minutes, the height is 22. 6 minutes is 11, 8 minutes is 22. Yeah, so it's like keep going up and down lah. Okay, A, from the given table, sketch the graph of the trigonometric function related to this data. So they provide you with this thing and then ask you to sketch. Okay, definitely it's a trigonometry lah, because they already say it here, right? It's, yeah. So definitely it's Form 5, Chapter 6, and I think it's under the graph. Okay, okay, this is a sketch question and they never give you any scala, but you can make your own scala. Yeah. So what scala? I think for the x-axis should be the time lah, guys. Yeah, time should be the x-axis, and then this should be the y. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. If no, then it doesn't make any sense already. Okay, but what scala you will use? Okay, you have 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, but they give you a lot of space here. If I go 2, 4, 6, 8, can also, but let's try to go 1, 2, 3, 4 because it's enough space, right? Yeah, I think this is the it's ngam ngam. So you should do it like that. Make sure you use most of the space given lah. Okay, this one is the time in minutes. And if there's unit, better you write the unit inside also, minutes. And then for this will be the height in meters. But what about the scala? Okay, you have 11, 22, 33. Okay, all these numbers are the multiple of 11. So I think you just go 11, 22, 33 like that. Yeah. And it's fine because all the values here is like 11, 22, 33. You don't need to, yeah, there's no point in between. So yeah, this is good. Okay, with this, now we can plot the points. So I think when you butcher, you have to butcher from here lah, because this is x, y. So 0, 22, and then butcher from here, 2, 33. Okay, it looks like a sine graph already. And then 4, 22. Yeah, it's definitely a sine graph. And then 6, 11. Okay, yeah, it's a sine graph. And then 8, 22. Okay, I want to double check. 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, correct. Okay, now I have to join it, but cannot use ruler. This is a sine graph, so it needs to be the curve shape. So I have to use freehand. So it's gonna look something like that. Yeah, just make sure it has the shape of the sine graph. Okay, this is good enough. Okay, sketch the graph. So 3 marks. Okay, so A done, right? Yeah, so okay, B, state the trigonometric equation for the graph that has been sketched in A. Yeah, I predicted this. Yeah, I know they will ask I know they will ask this. So they want you to write the trigonometric equation. So usually when we write the equation, is in this form: y equals a sine bx plus c. Okay. Okay, guys. Seriously, you guys need to know this already because we see this so many times in the trial question. I believe in SBP also they ask, and then what's the other set I did? I forgot lah. But yeah, it comes out. It comes out quite a few times already. Yeah, this type of question yang dia sudah lukis siap-siap and then ask you to cari balik equation. Yeah, they ask a lot. Okay, let's talk about A. How do you find the A? A is the amplitude. What's amplitude? Amplitude is the distance from the maximum point, the highest point, to the center line. But the center line is not always the x-axis. Sometimes the center line will be on top of the x-axis, just like this case. Look at where's the center line. It's on top of the x-axis, right? So the amplitude is not the distance here. No, the amplitude is only the distance from here to here. And it's pretty easy to find. Just take 33 minus 22, you will get the answer. So you get 11. So that's the A. Another method to find A is taking the maximum minus minimum divided by 2. Yeah, I use this method a lot to teach my student. Just take the maximum minus minimum, because when you do that, when you minus maximum minimum, you get the whole jarak. So when you halfkan dia, you bahagi 2, you dapat jarak sini lah. Okay. But usually, kalau dia ada bagi center line, you can just minus terus lah. Kalau you tahu dia punya center line sini berapa. Okay, for the B, you have to write how many cycle in 360. Means you kena ada berapa graph dalam 360. You can clearly see that this is one cycle, but it's only for 8 minutes. You have to, if you go until 360, ada berapa graph. So you just take 360 bahagi 8 lah. Ya, sebab satu sign graph habis dekat 8. So dalam 360 ada berapa sign graph? Yeah, just take 360 divide 8 lah. So I'm gonna press, I will get 45. So that's the answer. Okay. Let me explain using another way. It means 8 is the period. You make sure you know this word. Period is quite important. So what is period? Period dalam bahasa Melayu is the tempo. Tempo. So what is tempo? The period ataupun the tempo is the horizontal distance for one cycle. Yeah, the horizontal distance for one cycle. So it's 8 lah. It's 8. And the formula for period is 360 bahagi B. Kalau dia sine graph ataupun cos graph lah. Tapi kalau tangent graph, you kena ambil 180 bahagi B. Sebab tangent graph dia repeats after 180. Sine cos dia repeat after 360. That is why. Okay, but anyway, we will not be using this for this question. So just do 360 bahagi B. But I'm trying to find B. So yang ni boleh pindah atas, period boleh pindah bawah. And period dia 8. That's why jadi 360 bahagi 8. 45. Okay. Alright, let's go to the C. Okay, C, you have to write whether this graph dia ada naik atas ke bawah. Okay, tadi bila saya cari A, saya dah cakap, you punya center line for sine graph akan, is like normally is at the x-axis. But sometimes it will be on top ataupun on the bottom, right? So this case is on top. That means your C must be positive. And it's positive berapa? Well, you move from 0 to 22 mah. So this gap right here is where the sine graph move up. And it's moved up 22. So that is the answer. Okay? Alright. That means A is 11. A is 11. Maksudnya sini kena 11, sini kena negative 11. Tapi dia sudah jadi 33. Sebab apa tahu? Sebab dia sudah naik 22 unit. Sebab tu 11 plus 22 is 33. Macam tu. Okay. Alright. I think finish already, right? Okay, what they want? Oh, state the trigonometric equation. Okay, it's not a good idea to stop like that. Jangan stop macam ni A, B, C. I think you have to write back. So jadi Y sama dengan 11 sin, and then the B is 45x plus 22. Yeah, like that. Kena tulis macam ni baru dapat markah. Tak boleh tulis macam ni. Unless dia kata cari nilai ABC lah. Unless the question says find value of ABC, then I will stop here. Okay. Okay, hope you understand. Okay, now we entering bahagian B. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, 11. Alright, let me tell you why I say oh my god. I'm sure you know why. If you watch my videos regularly, you know why. Okay? I will put a star here. Okay, tell me what is this? You see this tariff block, average block, what is this? This is the electricity bill question. The infamous electricity bill question. Okay, but why? Why is it the infamous question, and why I put the star there? Kenapa letak star? Because this question is very rare. Yeah, it's very rare. But usually when it comes out, most students cannot do. Because most students don't know how to butcher this table. Okay. But if you go watch my video, you know how to do one. Because this comes out in the Penang paper also. Okay. Yeah, you all can refer the Penang paper now. The blue. I remember the thumbnail is like blue color one. I already upload to my YouTube this set. Okay? And there's one question like that also, the electricity bill. Okay. Yeah, so it comes out a few times lah. Not often. It doesn't come out often, this one. But when it comes out, usually a lot of students cannot do it. So I will explain one more time for you lah. And hopefully you all know how to buat soalan ni after this. This type of question is like, yeah, very rare. But you all have to make sure you know how to do. Okay, let's baca. Mr. Shami used 1042 kilowatt hour. That's the unit for electricity. So he used 1042 electricity in April. Boleh? It is given that the usage exceeding 600 within a month will be subjected service tax of 8%. Okay, yang saya biasa is 6%. But this one is 8%, right? But most of the question is 6% one. I did so many already. Like I did a lot of exercise, so I know about it. So it's like always 6%, but this in this Negeri Sembilan paper they use 8%, but it's okay. Table 5 shows Mr. Shami's home electricity bill in April. Alright. So anyone knows how to do? First thing, cover this whole thing. Yup, that's how I teach. Ini cara saya ajar. Memang selalu macam ni. You tengok balik Penang paper or yeah, I don't know. I forgot which state lagi yang ada tanya, but that's how I always teach. So cover this first one. Don't look at it. Just ignore the whole thing. Just look at these three things. So we have the average block, and we have the kadar, we have the amount. So what we have to do is we have to find out dekat mana dia melebihi 600. Because that's when you kena charge service tax. So 200 tambah 100 dapat 300. 300 tambah 300 dapat 600. And this is the cut off. This is where you subjected to service tax. So I write ST here for these two column. Yeah, for these two column. I mean two row. Sorry. Yeah, for these two rows. Yeah, because usage exceeding 600 will be charged service tax. And here is already 600 already. Okay. So now, you can find out the RM. Just have to darab with the rate, right? So I think you can find your X already. Yeah, you can find your X already. Just take any darab ni dapat ni lah. Okay. And you can find your Z also. But there's a problem. Because I don't have, because Z kena ambil ini darab ni, tapi yang Y ni tak ada kan. Okay, tak apa. Dia ada cakap dia guna total berapa? 1042, right? So that's the total usage. That means Y mesti 1042 tolak semua lah. Okay, so let's do it now. So your Y will be 1042 in kilowatt hour minus with the 600, which is these three add together, and then minus with 300. So your Y will comes out here. 1042 minus 900, 142. That's your Y. And let's write the unit kWh. Okay, for X and Z. Okay, X is the RM, and I told you already how to get the RM. Just take yang ni darab dengan rate. So 300 times 0.516. Let's write RM just to be safe. X is in RM. So 300 darab 0.516. Okay, 154.8. Tapi dia RM kan. So I think better you write decimal place. For the Z, tak ada tempat lah macam mana. Okay, I'll just write here lah. Okay, Z will be 0.571 darab dengan Y. So Y is 142 multiply 0.571. So your Z answer comes out in RM here. Tekan calculator, 142 darab 0.571. Okay, I dapat 81.082. But RM selalu kita tulis 2 decimal place, so 81.08 cukup. Okay, I'll write it here also. Because confirm you will use this later. Confirm. Because later mesti dia akan macam total tax lah apa semua. Yeah. Okay, B. Calculate the total amount payment which is not subjected to service tax. Yeah, this one. Yeah, I'm familiar with it already because I'm very familiar with this question. So I know what they will ask lah. So yang not subjected to service tax is this right here lah. Remember the cutoff is here. Yeah, this is where the usage exceed 600. So this is the amount not subjected to service tax. So the not subjected will be this plus this plus this. So I'll just write 43.60 plus 33.40 plus 154.80. And let's write RM and then press calculator. Okay, 33.4 plus 154. Okay, my calculator give me 231.8. So it's RM 231.80. That is the amount which is not subjected to service tax. Okay, C. Calculate the service tax in RM charged in the electricity bill in April. So this one confirm you have to take the 8% times with, okay, only these two amount will be subjected to service tax. That means we have to take these two amount, add together. After adding that, times 8%, then the answer will be the service tax. Okay, so let's do 163.8 plus 81.08. So I'm gonna press now. Okay, I got 244.88. 244.88. So I'm just gonna do this and write 244.88. That's the total for this two. Okay, now answer times 8%. That will give you the service tax charged. So 19.59. So that's the answer. RN 19.59. Okay, but I want to explain one more thing. Okay, let's see if there's anything left. Okay, finish already lah, the question. But I want to say something here. Oh, 8 marks this question. Okay. All right. So I'll tell you now. What if they ask to calculate the total electricity bill that Mr. Shami needs to pay? Yeah, the total bill for everything, including the service tax. So what would be the total electricity bill if let's say they ask like that? So what do you think you will do? Take all this amount, tambah semua. But after you tambah semua, you kena tambah lagi dengan 8% darab dengan 244.88. Okay? Yeah, which is 119.59 lah. So I repeat one more time. If they ask for the total payment for the whole thing, including the service tax, just plus all the amount here and then plus with the service tax, which is 19.59. Itu kalau dia tanya for total electricity bill for the whole the whole thing lah. Tapi C tak payah buat macam tu because C they only ask for service tax. Yeah, that's why this is good enough. Okay. Alright, that's enough. That's all. Okay, 12 pula. Okay, what chapter is this? Looks like probability. Yeah, I see the word already. Probability. Okay, definitely. Confirm. Probability. Kebarangkalian. Okay, diagram 4 shows 5 cards labeled with numbers in box X. Okay, 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 3 cards labeled with letters in box Y. So, box Y dia adalah letters. Huruf. Okay. Tapi box X dia adalah numbers. Numbers. And then ini ada 5 card, ini ada 3 card. Okay, so far so good. Alia picks a card at random from box X and then picks a card at random from box Y. So Alia dia ambil satu dari sini, satu dari sini. By listing the sample of all the possible outcome of the event, find the probability that the card with an even number and a card labeled with letter I are picked. Alright. They already said need to list the sample of all possible outcome. Means you have to list the sample space. You have to leave the sample space. Okay, what is sample space? Sample space means you write S and then you open the curly bracket and you write down all the possibilities. You tulis semua kemungkinan yang wujud. So what is the possibilities? So you might end up with 15 head with I. 15 pasangan dengan I think I read like that. Yeah. Okay. Ataupun dia boleh dapat 15 dengan P. But you have to write it in the bracket like this. Yeah. Because it's considered one set like that. Yeah, sebab dia ambil satu dari X, satu dari Y. Okay. And it's also possible to get 15Q, right? Or 25I, 25P, 25Q. Okay. And there should be 15 outcomes because sini ada 5, sini ada 3, you should multiply. Ya, dia akan ada 15. Okay, ataupun 38I, 38P, 38Q. Okay, this step is a bit boring lah, but you have to do it because yeah, if you want to get full mark, you have to do it. They already said need to do it. 41I, 41P, 41Q. Okay, the final three, 57I, 57P, 57Q. And there's how many outcome? 15. Okay, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 15 lah. Okay, done with the sample space thing. Now focus on finding probability, but they only want probability for a card with an even number and a card label with I. So we will only choose probability, but I will leave kosong satu baris dulu, and then probability for what? Card with even and I. So I'll write here even and I. So later mesti over 15. Yeah, because the total outcome is 15. And then atas kita tengok yang mana lah. But make sure you write down the outcome atas here. Okay, jangan malas. You have to write it. Kalau nak dapat full mark, kena tulis. So we have to write even and I lah. So even and I. Even and I. 15, okay, 3 ni confirm tak boleh sebab dia bukan even. Dia bukan genap. 25, 3 ni pun tak boleh sebab bukan even. 41 pun tak boleh. 57 pun tak boleh sebab semua ni bukan genap. So only 38 I sajalah. It means this is the only one out of 15. Out of the 15 yang ada ikut syarat ini, even and I. So 1/15 is the answer. Okay lah, sudah siap lah, that's all lah. Yeah, it's not even that difficult, that's all. Okay, B. Okay, we are still doing probability. A wardrobe contains a total of 36 shirts in three colors. White, red and blue. Okay, kalau saya akan lukis. And usually I'll draw like that. Yeah. So that I understand the question. White, red, blue. 36 is the total. Okay, if a shirt is selected at random from the wardrobe, the probability of selected white shirt is 1/4. Okay, usually I like to write the probability dekat garisan tu. So white 1/4. So ini 1/4. So I can find the bilangan white. Just take 1/4 times 36 and you dapat 9 sini. Okay, dah bilangan tu. Okay, calculate the number of white shirt. The answer is 9 lah. Okay, but let's write some working. 1/4 times 36 dapat 9. Okay, number 2. The probability of selecting red shirt. Okay, so nak cari probability of red. Maksudnya cari ni lah. Okay, so probability of red. If the wardrobe contains 13 blue, so the N blue is 13. Okay, bilangan kita akan tulis dekat sebelah. So how to find? First, you boleh cari probability of blue. Lepas tu ambil 1 minus minus. Yeah, because the total probability, total semua mesti 1. So, kalau you ada 2 probability sini, you boleh ambil 1 minus minus to get the probability of red. Okay, so let's do that. So, first we have to find probability of blue dulu lah. But this is not the final answer. But you find this first, and then later ambil 1 minus. Okay, probability of blue will be, okay, number of blue 13 bahagi dengan jumlah 36. And then now probability of red. Okay, ini dah jadi 13/36. So nak jadi probability rate 1 minus 13/36 minus 1/4. So tekan ni dapatlah jawapan. Okay, my calculator give me 7/18. But is this correct? Yeah, it's correct. Okay, the schema write 14/36. Why is that? Because the schema never simplify. 14 divided 36. Yeah, the calculator, I mean the schema answer never simplify. So it's the same thing lah, basically. So that's the answer. Okay, there's another method to do it. Ya, ada lagi satu cara. You boleh juga ambil 36 minus 13 minus 9, dapatkan bilangan rate dulu. After dapat bilangan rate, baru ambil bilangan rate bahagi 36 to get the probability rate. Okay, if you do like that, you get same answer also lah. So boleh juga. Okay, sudah siap. Okay, we are at 15. This is definitely matrix form 5, chapter 2. Okay, the inverse matrix of this thing is equals to this. So find the values of P and Q, and then next calculate value of P plus Q. Alright, this is quite easy. Just, yeah, very straightforward. Just do inverse, and then compare your answer. Okay, before I start, I just want to ask you one thing. Can I say this equals to this? Is it okay if I do like that? This one equals to this, and then I say Q is -8. Betul or salah? Mestilah salah. Mestilah salah. Ini matrix tak boleh terus sama dengan matrix ini. Dia tak sama lagi. Dia kata inverse of this is equals to this. Maksudnya, you kena buat songsang untuk ni dulu. Lepas tu baru equals. In other words, you have to write like that. -3, -8, 1, 2 equals. The other side is this. 1/P, 2Q, -1, -3, right? But it's wrong if you write like that. You have to write -1 here. Maksudnya dia punya inverse baru sama dengan ni. Okay, ini baru betul. Okay, how to find inverse? 1 over darab silang, start dari atas. -3 times 2, -6. Tolak dengan darab silang 1 times -8, -8. So, buka bracket. And then kurungan. -3 dengan 2 kena tukar tempat. 2 -3. -8 dengan 1 kena tukar tanda. 8 -1 equals same thing. And then 1 over -6 plus 8 is 2. And then sini 2, 8, -1, -3. Okay, usually kita akan ambil 2 ni, ambil 1 over 2 darab masuk. Ya, ambil 1 over 2 darab masuk. Tapi saya takkan darab masuk. You tahu kenapa? Sebab nanti saya nak banding jawapan saya dengan jawapan ni. And kalau you tengok jawapan yang diberi sini, dia tak ada kembang. So, bila dia tak kembang, saya tambah kembang juga. But kalau you nak kembang, boleh juga. Tapi kalau kembang sini, make sure sini pun kembang lah. Then baru boleh banding mah. Okay, tapi saya choose not to, I choose not to kembang. So, I just compare straight away. Okay, bila kita compare, bila kita banding, kita kena cari benda yang sama. Yeah, we have to look for similar things on both sides. So, what is the same on both sides? Saya ada 2, dia ada 2. Saya ada -1, dia ada -1. Saya ada -3, dia ada -3. So, Q is the 8 lah. Okay, saya ada one, dia ada one, saya ada two, dia bawa P. So P sama dengan 2. So bila you banding, you dapatlah jawapan P2 Q8. That's all. Sudah siap. Oh, but they want next find value of P plus Q. Oh, ini lagi mau. Okay, so I write dot dot dot. Okay, nak cari P dengan Q dulu, sudah. And then I'll just use this symbol, dot, comma, and then I'll just write P plus Q punya jawapan, which is 10 lah. Because 2 plus 8 is 10 lah. So yeah, that's all. Okay, B is definitely simultaneous. Definitely, no question about it. Confirm. Yeah, just look at the diagram, you know already. Okay, a trader sells two types of fresh drinks, grape and orange. Okay, mostly one of it would be X and then another would be Y. But usually when I teach, I always say the same thing. You can't write. Okay, when we do simultaneous, we need the two equation, of course. And it looks like this question tak bagi terus the two equation, and you have to write the two equation yourself, right? But it's very hard to write the equation when you don't know what the X Y represents. So my recommendation is you read the whole thing first. Okay. Okay, so you have grape orange. He wants to ensure that each drink is sold at a reasonable price to make a profit and satisfy his customer. Okay, makes sense. Table 6 shows the number of bottle of drinks purchased by Sulin and Ahmed last week. What name is this? Okay, Sulin, Ahmed. So dia 2, 3, 4, 5. And what is this represents? Like the price. A trader sells two types. Is drink. So this is the customer lah. Yeah, and then this is the number purchase lah. Okay, okay, okay. Understand, understand, understand. Okay, what about here? Ahmed paid 34 ringgit for the number of bottles he bought. Okay, I'm sure you can write your first equation from here. But again, it's very hard to write the equation when you don't know what the XY represents. Okay, so for me, I will not write it. Okay, yeah. And then next thing, Sulin paid 16 ringgit less than Ahmed. Okay, this one definitely you can write the second equation. But again, let's not write first. Okay. Using the matrix method, okay, find the price of a bottle of grape flavored drink and a bottle of orange flavored drink. Okay lah, make that the XY lah. Yeah, I always do this. Whenever this for this type of question yang apa simultaneous and then bagi story, always I will tell my students just look at the last baris and tengok apa dia mau cari and make that the XY. Apa yang dia suruh cari itulah dia punya XY. Okay. So I know now, let X equal something, Y equal something, and your X will be this price of a bottle of grape. Don't just write grape, don't just write X is grape, Y is orange. No. If you're my student, you know I always marah you for doing that. Because I always say try to be specific. Because it's confusing if you write grape and orange. Yeah, if you write like that, it could mean the price or the quantity or the bilangan or the mass or whatever, right? So try to be specific here. Price of make sure you write also a bottle of grape. This is good enough. And then price of a bottle of orange. Okay, now you can read back to this line and then write the first equation. Ahmed paid 34 ringgit for the number of bottles he bought. Okay, Ahmed should buy 4 grape, 5 orange. But 1 grape is X ringgit. So imagine buying 4x lah. And then 5 orange bottles he buy. But the one price bottle orange is Y ringgit. So you buy 5, then it'll be the RM is 5Y lah, and the total is 34 ringgit. Yeah, so the total price is 34. So that's your first equation. You see how easy it is to write the equation? Yeah, because you know what your XY represents. That's why it's like easy already. Okay, second equation. Sulin paid 16 ringgit less than Ahmed. Sulin. Okay, let's find out Sulin punya total price. 2 times X plus 3 times Y. This is the Sulin price. But it said here that it's 16 ringgit less than Ahmed. So Ahmed paid 34 ma. So Sulin paid 16 less than that. So 34 minus 16 lah. So I got 18. So 2x plus 3y is 18 lah. Yeah. So now with that, you can use the matrix method and find out the x, y value. Okay, when you're doing matrix method, you have to convert to matrix form. Okay, convert to matrix form. And the way to do that is like this. Okay, of course, you have to make sure the equation is stacked on top of each other like that and make sure it's x atas X, Y dengan Y, number dengan number, and the number has to be on the other side. And after the arrangement is like that, you can write down the value here. You write down the perkali for X, Y. Perkali means the number before X, Y. So 4, 5, 2, 3. And of course, kalau ada negatif, kena tulis juga negatif tu. Okay, it's X. Dia tulis X dulu, baru Y kan. Maksudnya X atas, Y bawah sini. And then 34, 18, that one just write it here. Now try to find XY, kita pindah ni ke sana. Okay, when you pindah, ini hubungan darab jadi bahagi kan. But in matrix we don't call it bahagi, we call it inverse. So kita buat inverse. Okay, cara untuk buat inverse, dia punya formula adalah 1 over darab silang and always start dari atas. So 4 times 3, 12 minus 2 times 5, 10. 4 dengan 3 tukar tempat jadi 3, 4. 5 dengan 2 tukar tanda, negative 5, negative 2. And then bracket 34, 18. Lepas tu buat apa? Lepas tu darab tiga-tiga benda ni lah. Okay. First, usually I do it like this. I will buat yang bawah dulu. 12 minus 10, 2. And then I'll ambil ni dengan ni darab dulu. Last kali baru saya darab dengan fraction. Okay. Yeah. Usually I did it like this lah. Tapi ada juga student yang maybe nak ambil ni darab ni dulu. Boleh juga. Boleh juga. Okay, this is a 2 row 2 column. This is a 2 row 1 column. Bila you darab, mesti dapat 2 row 1 column. Sebab ini potong-potong kan. Okay, 2 row 1 column means satu nombor atas, satu nombor bawah. And macam mana darab? Ada cara special, kena ambil horizontal darab vertical. 3 times 34, negative 5 times 18. So 3 times 34, negative 5 times 18. And then go to the second row, same column, and repeat the same process. Negative 2, 34, plus 4 times 18. Okay, I write plus because nothing in between means plus lah. Okay, sekarang jangan darab dengan fraction dulu sebab dalam ni boleh buat. So kita tekan ni dulu. 3 times 34 minus 5 times 18. 12. Negative 2 times 34 plus 4 times 18. 4. Sekarang baru darab dengan fraction. Okay, darab 1 over 2 means bahagi 2. So what is 12 bahagi 2? 6. 4 bahagi 2, 2. So after getting your xy, now you know your x is 6, your y is 2, right? But I don't recommend you to stop here. Because this xy, the soalan tak cakap pun cari xy. Yeah, the soalan suruh cari price of bottle of grape and bottle of orange, right? So I recommend you change it back to price of bottle of grape and orange. Okay. So I will write dot price of a bottle of grape. And that one is X, right? So 6. But write the RM also because this is price. And then comma, price of a bottle of orange flavored drink is RM2. Like that. Okay. Okay. Sudah siap. Okay, let's do 14. Okay, what is this? Following are the times in minutes. Okay. Taken by 13 students to complete a mathematics test. Okay, this looks like the measures of dispersion question. And it's a ungroup data. So this is the time taken minutes and is the data about time in minutes taken by 13 students. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So the N is 13 lah. Yeah, N dia 13. Okay, on the graph in answer space, complete the dot plot for time in minutes. 3 marks. Okay, where's the dot plot? Oh, macam tu dia tanya. Okay, this will take some time. So I can see they already plot 3 dots, 35, 36, 36. Okay, so I'm just gonna cut that. Oh, it's not here already. Okay lah, then that means I have to did all this myself lah. Okay. Ada lah. 35, 36, 36. Yeah. So finish already lah, that means. Okay, I think I will just arrange in ascending order first lah. Because later they ask for median. And yeah, when you find median, you need to arrange in ascending order dulu. Because median is getting the middle number, but you have to susun dulu. Yeah. So why not just susun now? Because it will help us for the dot plot also. Okay. So let's susun now lah. Okay, so I'm just gonna write my working here. Okay, let's start from 35, 36, 36. Right? 35, 36, 36. Okay, 37, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 37, 37, 37, 37. I feel like this is the mode. Ya, sebab dia muncul paling banyak kali kan. Okay, and then 38, 38. Okay, 2 kali. And then 39, 2 kali juga. and then 40, 45. 40, 45. Okay, ada lagi tak? Okay, semua sudah potong, maksudnya semua sudah. Okay, now we can complete the dot plot. Okay, ini tiga ni sudah. 37 ada 4 kali. Oh, yo. So we have to go 37 and put 4 dots. Okay, first dot, I'm gonna make sure it's at 37 and I'll make sure that it's on the same level as this. Yeah, as the previous dot. Okay, that's the first level. But there's 4 dots, so there should be 1 here. And I'll make sure it's on the same level as the second dot at the 36, right? Okay, now I have to go around same distance. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kotak. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can go 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, 1, 2, 3. Okay lah, around here lah. And then there should be one more. Okay lah, just place here. Yeah. The distance of between the dots is not that important. Okay. Okay lah, okay lah. This one it looks like it's like, let's try to make it like, how to say, the distance is consistent lah. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Okay, it looks better like that, right? Okay, done with the 37. Now we have 38 dua kali, 39 dua kali. Okay, no problem. 38 dua kali. First one here. Second one here. And of course the 39 also same thing. Okay, what now? 40, 45. Okay, boleh. 40 dekat sini lah. 45. Oh, this is the outlier lah. The extreme value. Ya, yeah, sebab dia seorang yang, because there's no one here, and then dia seorang saja yang macam tu. So that's definitely the outlier. Okay, usually when there's outlier, we don't recommend using range to find out the dispersion. Because, yeah. Okay, anyways, let's just go back to the thing first. Okay, number 2, state the median. So median is the middle number. Tapi sebenarnya ada formula tau. The median formula, okay, Q2 is median. The formula for Q2 ataupun median is N plus 1 bahagi 2. Tapi this formula will only give you the location ataupun the position, the kedudukan. Okay? But of course, you can also just uh, find out the median number like that. One by one, just cover it one by one like that. And then slowly move towards the middle and you will get 37. Okay. Of course, the other way is to use that formula. The formula is n plus 1 divided 2, but the n have to put 13. 13 plus 1 will be 14. 14 divided 2 is 7. That means the median is at the 7th position from the left. Ataupun from the right also can. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, it's the same thing lah. So the median memang 37. Okay, number 3, calculate the mean. Okay, mean is the average. So for the average, you will just take everything, add together, and then divide 13 lah. Alright, let's do that. So buat satu garisan panjang, nanti over 13, sini pun over 13, and then jawapan tulis sini. Okay, 35 plus 36 plus, okay, 36 2 times, so I can just write like that, 36 times 2. Okay, so that it's like faster lah. And then 37 4 kali, so 37 just times 4 straight away, and then 38 times 2, and then 39 times 2, and then plus 40 plus 45. Basically, the number inside this bracket is the frequency lah. Yeah, that's why I terus darab dengan frequency dia. Okay. Okay, after you done that, now you can press the calculator. Okay, I always tell my student, don't straight away give them the final answer. Try to pecahkan jadi 2 baris. It means I will tekan the jumlah atas first. And also, writing it like this makes it easier to check your answer later on. So yeah, it's good to write like that. And then only you give them the final answer. So I got 38. So that's my mean, my average. Okay, let's write the unit. So minutes. Okay, let's write for the median also lah. Okay, let's do B. Based on your answer in A1, A2, which measures of central tendency is more suitable for this time data? Justify your answer. Okay, measures of central tendency ada 3 saja. Mean, median, mode. Mean, median, mode. Okay, when will it be suitable to use mean? When will it be suitable to use mean? Okay, if you look at this question, dia takkan guna mode. Betul? Sebab they already say based on your answer in A1 and A2. So what's your A1, A2? Wait, A1, A2 or A2, A3? I think they mean A2 and A3. Yeah, I think dia silap sini. Yeah, so based on your answer A2 and A3, which measures is more suitable for this data? So is it the median better or mean, right? So I'll tell you now, it's better to use the median. You know why? Because this data has outlier. So usually when the data has outlier, we usually is usually much more recommended to not include the outlier in our working. Saya ulang sekali lagi, kalau data ada outlier ataupun extreme value, it's better to not include that extreme value in our working. So that's why the mean is not that suitable. But the median is a good yeah, it's good because the outlier, that's only one value. So when you're finding the median, it will be much more suitable. So I will just write here median and justify your answer. The reason is because there's outlier. Yeah. So because there's an outlier, or you can write extreme value also okay. Outlier and extreme value is the same thing. Okay. Okay. At the same time, I also want to talk about measures of dispersion. Measures of dispersion ada tiga. Range, interquartile range, variance, standard deviation. And bila dia ada outlier, kita takkan guna range also. You know why, right? Because range dia punya formula maximum minus minimum. And if there's outlier, you use range, it means you are using the outlier in your calculation, which is not recommended. So usually when outlier exists in the data, we will use interquartile range for measures of dispersion lah. But for measures of central tendency, this is how it works. The mean, median, mode one. When outlier exists, we use median. Okay. All right. Now let's see. There are two new students completing their assignments. Recording times of 34 and 43. Calculate the range of time for the new data. So I have to add these two value inside our data lah. But actually, they ask for range later. Range is just maximum value minus minimum value. So the maximum 45 is still 45, right? The minimum 30, okay, is 35, but now it's 34 already. So I think you just take 45 minus 34. Yeah, it's quite easy. Okay. Yeah, because it's ungrouped data. Ungrouped data memang macam tu lah. Okay. So you just get 11 lah. Okay. But if it's a group data, okay, group data for range, you have to take the midpoint of the highest class minus the midpoint of the lowest class. Itu kalau group data lah. Group data means data yang ada kelas, yang bagi kelas. Okay. Okay, sudah siap. Okay, let's do 15. Okay, this is definitely the transformation chapter from 5, chapter 5. Okay. Okay, diagram 5.1 shows point F and point G marked on a Cartesian plane. So I can see point F, the coordinate is negative 1, 5. So I'm just going to write that down quickly. And then point G, it's at 3. Okay, let's write that down. Okay, now let's see what it says down here. Okay, scroll down. Okay, transformation P is a translation 6, negative 3. So what's the meaning of 6? What's the meaning if the 6 is on top? It means you have to move to the right. Okay, yeah, because the top number indicates the horizontal movement, and then the bottom number is for the vertical movement, but the bottom number is negative, so it has to go down. So this one is going to the right 6 kotak and then going down 3 kotak, but you cannot go now. Yeah, you cannot kira the kotak now because you still haven't know which one is the object, which one is the image. Yeah, you still don't know whether they want you to find separate object, separate image, tak tahu lagi. Okay, let's keep reading first. Transmission Q is rotation of 90 degree clockwise about center G. So we have to be ready. Later mesti kena buat rotation lah. So how do you prepare for later? You can draw the cross. You can draw a cross at the center of rotation. So it's at G. So okay, now I know G is actually not the object and not the image. It's the center of rotation. So I'm just gonna put a cross. Yeah, that's how I always teach my student. Okay, but I'm not doing the rotation now. I'm just getting ready for later. Yeah, I'm just preparing for later. So I just did a cross at G, and also I will make sure I put clockwise 90 ma. So clockwise I know is this direction. So I'm just gonna put this arrow like that and then write 90 degree. Okay, yeah. So I haven't do the rotation yet. I'm just preparing for later. Okay, now this baris is very important because it's telling you who's the object, who's the image. So they said state the coordinate of image of F under transformation QP. That means F is the object. If they want to find image of F means F is the object. So later you have to start from F. Ada juga soalan yang bagi image ada soalan yang macam ni. Yang bagi image suruh cari objek. Itu lagi susah lah. Itu you have to do it in reverse. And when you do translation in reverse what you have to do is you kena tukar tanda tau. Bila dia bagi image cari objek you have to do it in reverse. It means you have to tukar tanda. So for example, 6 -3 become -6 3 instead. And then for the rotation 90 degree clockwise about center G, when you do it in reverse you have to do anti-clockwise. Instead of 90 clockwise, you do 90 anti-clockwise. Okay. But of course, this question you don't have to do like that because they give you object. Point F is the object. So what I will do is I always teach my student to write like in this way. Write the object first with the coordinate, of course, -1 5, and then you draw two arrows. Two arrows. Why two arrows? Because two transformation. So it's transformation QP, meaning P followed by Q. So the first arrow have to do P, second have to do Q. If you do it in the wrong order, wrong also. You have to make sure you do P first. Yeah, you have to do P first. So let's go to our point F and then start doing transformation P, which is translation 6 -3. So we can count 6 kotak ke kanan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And not finished yet, have to go down 3 kotak. 1, 2, 3. And as you can see, this is the first image. 5, 2. So you write that down here. 5, 2. But that's not the final answer. But you have to show show your cikgu this working also. Yeah, some student they only write the final answer. No. If you write like that, you will not get full mark. Notice how they provide 2 marks. Yeah, it's because there's 1 mark for the first image also. So make sure you follow how I write it. Don't use your own way of writing it. Just use this framework. Always write like that. Bracket, arrow, arrow like that. Okay, last thing, you have to do Q, but you go from 5 2. So 5 2 is this one. And now you start to do Q, which is the rotation 90 clockwise about center G. Okay, I already draw the cross just now. Yeah, I already draw the cross at the center. So now I just can do the rotation 90. Okay, when we're doing rotation, first we have to know mana dia jatuh dulu. Yeah, so your 5 2 is here. So tell me, later your image will jatuh mana? A, B, C mana? So 90 degree clockwise, right? So if the 5 2 is here, when you rotate 90, that means here you rotate 90 clockwise, here is 180 clockwise, here is 270 clockwise lah. That means rotating 90 clockwise, you will end up here later. Okay. So now you already know it will end up here. Now you can start to kira the kotak. But you will kira from the center to the object. Yeah, to the point you want to rotate lah, which is this one. But you kira horizontal, vertical, horizontal dulu baru vertical. So let's count. So it will be 1 kotak, 2 kotak, 3 kotak, and then go down 1 kotak. So I can see from center to the 5 2 is 3 kotak ke kanan, 1 ke bawah. So now you're trying to rotate 90 degree clockwise, which ends up here. So you have to know something. When you rotate 90, you have to terbalikkan this. So horizontal 3, vertical 1, when you terbalik, dia akan jadi horizontal 1, vertical 3. But it will not be in this same direction. It will be towards this corner. That means you have to go back to the center and go 1 ke kiri. And then 3 bukan ke atas, ke bawah. Okay. But sir, in exam, how I know whether it's ke kiri or kanan, atas or bawah? Tadi saya sudah cakap you tengok dulu dia jatuh mana corner. So that's why just now I said I tengok dia jatuh which corner first. After knowing that it will end up in the bottom left, then I start counting. Because if you terus kira the kotak then it's like you don't know where to go. You faham So that's why when doing rotation, I will always do it like that. I tengok dia jatuh mana dulu. Lepas tu baru saya start kira, and then I will just kira towards that corner lah. So you can see this is the final answer 1 0. So you can just write the 1 0 here, and you should be able to get full marks if you write like that. Okay? Yeah, so that's all. Alright, that's it. I'm gonna continue. B. Alright, ini mesti soalan describe. Yeah. If they give you all the object and image all draw perfectly like that, that means confirm they will ask you to describe. You have to write down whether it's translate, reflect, rotate, and enlarge lah. Okay, diagram 5.2 shows 3 trapezium, JKLM, URST, UVWX, drawn on the Cartesian plane. Yes, I can see it. There's 3 trapezium. But we still don't know which one is the object, which one is the image. So don't go on and try to describe now. If you describe now, must you describe wrong one, right? Because you don't know who's the object and who's the image, right? So you have to keep reading. Dia mesti akan cakap. So dia dah bagi tahu sini, trapezium URST is the image of JKLM under combined transformation MN. Okay, MN means N followed by M. So now we know URST is the image after 2 transformation. So URST, which is the big one, that is the I2. I2 means the final second image, final image. Yeah, because there's two transformation. So this is the second image. Then what about JKLM? This JKLM is the object. Yeah, you start from here. Because they say URST is image of JKLM under two transformation. So this is the O. So definitely this is the I1. So if you write it in the arrow, it will look like this. JKLM, start from here, go to UVWX, which is the first image, and then go to URST. Yeah, this is how it looks like. And then the transformation is N followed by M. If this one you terbalik also, it will affect your marks one. Yeah, imagine if you write the MN correctly, but then you terbalik tulis. Maybe the N you go and for N you describe for M, and then for M you describe for N. Itu pun song markah juga. So that's why it's very important to label nicely, and also make sure you have this arrow, because this arrow will tell you, yeah, yeah. If you have this arrow, you will not make the mistake lah. Okay, so now we can describe. So we will start writing transformation. Okay, they want me to describe N dulu. So I write transformation N is, and then later I tulis lah dekat sini. And then B, I don't have any space. So where should I write it? Okay, I think I'll just write it down here lah. Transformation M is blah 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 blah. Okay, now it's time to determine which transformation it is. So for N, we will focus on JKLM and UVWX, and it's very obvious. JKLM to UVWX, it's reflection. But for weak students yang tak pandai tengok, awak boleh guna cara ni. First, you check dia punya size dulu. So, tengok size dia. Okay, dua-dua size sama. So, bukan enlargement. Kalau dia size tak sama, automatic is enlargement. Okay. Tapi kalau size sama, then you check whether it's translation or not. Okay, translation pun bukan lah. Sebab translation, you will just ambil benda tu, gerak kiri, kanan, atas, bawah. So, dia punya orientation takkan tukar. But if you look at these two shapes, you can see that the 90 degree is at the, is at like that. But you can see this is already upside down already. Yeah, that's why it's not translation. So it's either reflect or rotate. So for reflect, rotate, dia susah sikit nak bezakan. Yeah, sebab sometimes the reflection can look like rotation, sometimes rotation can look like reflection. That's why I teach students using a method which is the method where you draw lines. When you draw lines, joining all the corresponding point, if all the lines look like this, is reflection. Okay? Kalau you join semua line, dia punya line macam ni, reflection. But if you join all the lines and it ends up looking like this, sangat kemas punya, semua line intersect one point, then it's rotation 180, and this point right here is the center of rotation. Ya, dia punya intersect. Tapi kalau bukan dua case ini, kalau dua-dua ni pun bukan, then it's rotation 90 lah. Rotation 90, dia punya line sangat serabut. Yeah, it's like, it will be very messy one, the line. So for that case, you have to use compass to draw perpendicular bisector to find the center. Or you can use the ruler method also can. Whichever you want lah. Okay, so for this case, how come I know so fast is reflection is because I draw the line in my head. Because I know this will be this will be this, and then V to K, U to J. Yeah, you can see all the lines are parallel. So it belongs to this case where it's a reflection. That's why I know it's reflection. But you will not get full marks if you just write here. If you just stop here, you will not get full marks. You have to mention the isi penting. Yeah, so what is the isi penting? Okay, when writing reflection, when you describe reflection, you have to mention the line, the reflection line. So what is the reflection line here? Very easy, just find out the midpoint of this line. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So bahagi 2, 1, 2, 3. So this is the reflection line. Okay, yeah, every point. Yeah, this is the line lah where they reflect lah, because J reflect U is like dua kotak, and then here satu kotak, and then tiga kotak. Yeah, so this is the reflection line. So if it's a horizontal line, the equation will be Y equals, and since dia potong Y axis dekat 4, then the equation is Y equals 4. If you tulis macam ni, baru dapat full mark. For reflection lah. For reflection, you have to write like that. Okay, now for transformation M. Okay, this one is from UVWX to URST. So you see this thing very helpful, right? This arrow thing. Yeah, because it's like you won't get confused if you have this. So UVWX is the I1, and then URST is the big one, I2. And the I2 is not just the shaded region, it's including this also. Okay. All right. So very obvious lah. Use the method I said just now, right? Check the size dulu, and you look at the size, you know already the size tak sama. So automatic is enlargement already. No need to check whether it's translate, reflect, rotate. If the size tak sama, automatic Dia enlargement. Okay, for enlargement, dia ada ECC penting yang kena tulis. You have to write two things when you describe enlargement, the center and the scale factor. Dua-dua pun kena tulis. You tulis satu saja pun tak boleh. Salah juga. You have to write two things. So, as enlargement, and usually I write in this format. I write at center, and then I tulis dia punya pusat dekat sini, and then with scale factor, and then I'll write down the scale factor lah. Okay, of course, we have to find the center of enlargement, but it's not difficult to find center of enlargement. You just have to join the line, draw line. But you have to join to the corresponding lah. So S to W, R to V, T to X, V to U. And as you can see, all the lines will intersect at one point, and that point right there is the center of enlargement. Is this one lah? It's point U. Yeah. Yeah, and it makes sense also, because U is the only point yang, yeah, because if you look at U, before enlarge is U, after enlarge also U. Yeah, so this is the center lah. So it's 1, 6. Okay, but I recommend writing the U also. Yeah, like that lagi better. Like that your teacher lagi cannot argue with you, right? So you, since it's like point U, so I write the point U and I write the coordinate also. And then with scale factor, of course you can write, you can take the length of image bagi length of object, because that's the scale factor formula. Okay, length of image bagi length of object, not area, has to be the length. So you can take any side of image. Okay, let's take this side right here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 4, and then divide by the corresponding side here, 2. So you get 2, so the scale factor is 2. Okay, and make sure it's I2 divide I1. Yeah, because the formula is image bagi object, right? You don't go and take I1 divide I2. No, no, no. It has to be the final image divide with the, yeah, the before one lah. Okay, one more thing I want to mention. When you write scale factor, I want you all to have this habit of checking whether it's negative or not. Okay, I know a lot of students don't have this habit one, but I want you to have this habit of checking whether it's need to letak negative or not. Of course, this question tak payah lah. This question tak payah, but still it's important to know that. So I will mention a bit. So when will you put negative here? Some student will say, oh, sir, when the image is smaller. No, 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 no. Hey, the positive negative sign has nothing to do with the size of image one. No, no, no. The negative you have to put is when your object and image is inverted. It means the image of enlargement is inverted, is like the whole thing is like upside down. Then you have to put negative. And at the same time, the object and image will be at the opposite side from the center. Yeah, when the scale factor negative, the object and image will be, yeah, at the opposite side from the center. Okay, and it will be inverted lah. Okay, tapi obviously case ini tak ada macam tu lah. Yeah, dia tak ada inverted. So, and also the object image is on the same side from the center of enlargement. That's why it's positive. Okay, hopefully you understand. Now I will move on to 2. Okay lah, ini memang biasa one lah. Dia selalu tanya area one. After describe, yeah, next thing is always area one. Okay, it is given that the trapezium JKLM area 27. Let's label JKLM 27. So if this thing area is 27, this thing also 27, because it's a reflection of each other, and the reflection will not affect the size. And then calculate area of shaded region. Okay, shaded region is this right here. So what you have to do is you have to find the big one first. Okay, and the formula you will use is this formula: AI equals to K square times AO. Area of image equals to K square times area of object. And in this case, the area of image will be the I2 lah. And when I say I2 is including this also, the whole thing, that's the I2. Okay, yeah, it's the URST lah. URST is the I2. So I will just write here the whole thing equals to K, which is 2. That's the scale factor. And then object is 27. So you just press this, you will get the area of image. Okay, 108. And the unit you follow here, meter square. But that's not the answer. That's not the answer. This is the area of URST, which is the whole thing here. You only want shaded region, so you will minus with the area of I1, which is 27. Yeah. So I will just write here area of shaded region equals 108 minus 27, and the unit will come out in meter square also. So I'm gonna press, I got 81. So let's write that and write the unit to be safe. Okay, I think that's it. Okay, let me check with the schema and see is it same. Y equals 4, pantolan, faktor skala 2. Okay lah. Yep. Right, correct already. That's all. Okay, sekarang kita masuk bahagian C. Okay, so bahagian C is like a very long question lah. Yeah, it's worth 15 marks. And then they will mix all the chapters. Okay, they say mengandungi dua soalan jawab satu, but I will jawab both the question in this video. Alright, so let's start with 16. Akil has saved his credit card PIN number in his mobile phone to avoid forgetting it. Okay, usually I do that also. I save all my password in, yeah, it's somewhere, so that I if I forget, I just go look for it. Okay, however, this action could cause others to know the PIN number if his mobile phone is lost or stolen. Yeah, that makes sense, because if you lost your mobile phone, someone might break into it, break open it, and then yeah. Therefore, as a security measure, okay, Akel has written the PIN number in base 2. Oh my god, this guy is insane. Okay, okay. So it's like he changed his PIN number to base 2. Wow. And the actual PIN in base 8. Wait, what? Sebagai langkah keselamatan, Akil menulis nombor PIN itu dalam asas 2 dan PIN sebenar dalam asas 8. So what does it mean? Credit card PIN number. Okay. Has written the PIN number in base 2 and actual PIN in base 8. Okay, I don't really understand this part. PIN number in base 2. What's actual PIN? I don't really get it. Actual PIN in base 8. Okay, okay, maybe the actual PIN is in base 8. And then all this is in base 2. So maybe we have to convert base 2 to base 8. I think that's what it means. Yeah, yeah, definitely. I think that has to be it, right? That has to be it. Yeah, this is definitely base 2. Yeah. So what is Akil's PIN number? Okay, I think we have to write it in base 8 lah, because they just said here the actual PIN is in base 8. So how do you convert base 2 to base 8? Okay, for base 2 to base 8, of course, you can change to base 10 first. How to change to base 10? Use the uh, darab punya cara. Ya, darab punya cara. And kita tulis dia punya place value atas kan. And then darab, tambah semua. And then change to base 10. And then use the bahagi punya cara change to base 8. The bahagi cara looks like this. You write the base 10 number here and then remainder bahagi 8. Bahagi until this thing becomes 0. And then the remainder will tell you the answer. But you have to baca dari bawah ke atas. But there's a faster way to do this. Because from base 2 to base 8 ada shortcut. Yeah, ada shortcut. And the shortcut is very fast. Okay, so the shortcut looks like this. And if you're my student, you know this. Yeah, we learned about this before. So you just go start from the last digit here. Right, 124, 124, 124, 124, 124, 124. And then you look at this group, you can see 111. That means you have to take 4 plus 2 plus 1. So you get 7. Next, 101 means you have to take 4 plus 1 only, which is 5. Okay. Yeah, the 2 times 0, no need lah, because 2 times 0 is 0. So it's just 5. Okay. Next, 110, that means 4 plus 2. You take 4 plus 2, so you get 6. And then 011 means you take 2 plus 1, so 3. 111 means 7, because it's 4 plus 2 plus 1. And then 101 is 4 plus 1, which is 5. And automatic is in base 8. Yeah, this is the shortcut way of changing base 2 to base 8. Yeah, that's all. Okay. Yeah. But of course, if you want to change to base 10, baru change to base 8 can also lah. You get the same answer also. Get the same answer also. But I think orang yang buat soalan ni they want me to use the shortcut method. Yeah. Otherwise, they won't use base 2 and base 8. Yeah. So that's why I just did it like that. Okay. So yeah, this is the shortcut way of changing base 2 to base 8. Okay. All right. That's all. Okay, B. What chapter is this? I don't know. Let's read. In conjunction with wedding anniversary, Akil plans to take his wife on a vacation at the La Bella Boutique Hotel. Oh my god. Okay, Akil has 2 rooms option, namely the executive room and the suite room. Suite room. Table 7.1 shows the rates of each room and the discounts offered at the hotel. So there's 2 type of room. You have the executive and the suite room. So the kadar bayaran payment rate RM. Okay, one night for executive 450 ringgit. Suite room is 800 ringgit. Maybe it's because this one is like lagi high class punya lah. Lagi high class punya room, that's why lagi mahal lah. Okay, there's discount. Okay, no discount for you for executive. But the suite room, you have 25% if stay longer than 2 days. Okay, let's calculate the 25% straight away. I don't want to read the question first. I'll just calculate it now. 25 times 8, that gives us 200. That means you dapat discount RM200 if you stay longer than 2 days. Only if you stay longer than 2 days. Okay. All right. Understand. Got it. Now what else? Find the ratio of the room rates of executive to suite room if Akil plans to stay for 3 days. So I think I have to find out the room rate for executive for 3 days, and then room rate for suite room for 3 days, and then find out the ratio lah. Okay, let's not find the ratio first. Let's find out the executive near room rate for 3 days. So it says here the room rate is RM per night 450. Tapi ini per night, satu night. You tinggal 3 night mah. So 3 times 450 lah. And there's no discount, so tak payah tolak anything. So the answer is, let's use our calculator. Alright, 1350. 1350. Okay, now for the suite room. Suite room. Okay, first 800 have to times 3, definitely, because 3 nights. And then you have a discount of 200 ringgit because he's staying longer than 2 days. Yeah, he's staying for 3 days, so minus 200. So you just tekan this, you get 2,400 minus 2,200, I think. Okay. All right, don't stop here. They ask for ratio, and it's executive to suite room. That means you have to take this thing, ratio this thing. So what you do, 1350 ratio 2200. Okay, but usually when we write ratio, we will write it in the simplest form. We will try to kecilkan, but you don't have to kecilkan yourself. You don't have to like, okay, ini boleh bahagi dua, oleh bahagi dua, and then bahagi lima, bahagi lima. No, you don't have to do that. Just use your calculator to help you. You can just press 1350 divide 2200. Yeah, just tekan like that, because ratio, I told you before already, ratio is like you can, dia macam pecahan. So you can anggap benda ni macam bahagi. So just tekan 1350 divide 2200. Your calculator will give you the ratio is 27 over 27 over, wait, I think I made a mistake. Wait. Did I make a mistake? Find the ratio of room rates. Okay, wait. Okay, yeah, I definitely made a mistake here. Okay, this one they say 25% if you stay longer than 2 days, right? So is it correct if I straight away take 25% times 800? Actually, no. No. Yeah, because if you times 800, it means you only stay for 1 day, right? This one is per night. So what you have to do, 800 have to times 3 first. You get 2,400, then only you times 25%, then only you get discount. Yeah, so I made a mistake here. So my fault. Let me correct myself here. So it should be 24 times 25. Yeah, this should be 600 right here. Yeah, in other words, the suite room would be 10,400 ringgit minus with 600. Minus with 600. And why is it 600? Because he stay longer than 2 days. So the total rate can minus with the 600 lah. Right? Yeah, so 2,400 can minus with 600 like that. So it's not 2,200 anymore. It would be 1,800. Yeah. So let me correct myself. Okay, so now it changes everything already lah. This one also changed already. It should be 1,800. So use the same method, just bahagi saja. Alright, my calculator give me 304. So you write it in ratio form, because they want ratio, so it's 3 ratio 4. So that's the answer. Okay, so that's it. So that's it. Okay, let's move on. Soalan C, Akil and his wife went for dinner at a restaurant. Okay, they had 1 plate of grilled lamb, 2 plates of carbonara, and 2 cups of coffee. Okay, I feel like this is important later. 1, 2 carbonara, 2 coffee. Okay, carbonara, lamb. Okay, table 7.2 shows the price of the food and drinks. So the lamb green is 36 ringgit per plate. Okay, how many plate they buy? 1, right? So times 1 later. Spaghetti carbonara 28 per plate, but they buy 2 plates carbonara spaghetti. One for him, one for wife lah. I think that's why I have times 2. And then coffee, you have 2 cups. Yeah, because 2 person lah. So this one times 2 lah. So I think the lamb grill they share lah. That's why they only buy 1 lah. Okay, now it is given that the restaurant charges 6% on service tax. Calculate bill. Okay, this is definitely from 5 chapter 4, and it's under cukai and it's under service tax. Okay. Okay, you have to be careful. Sometimes they ask you to carry the service tax amount, but then sometimes they ask you to find the total amount including the tax. So for this case, they want the Akil's bill. That means they want the total including the tax. Total including the tax. So what you can do, find out the total price first. Find out total price first. So 36 times 1 plus 28 times 2 plus 19.80 times 2. So let's see what we get from here first. So you have to wait for me. I have to press the calculator plus 19.8 times 2. Okay, my calculator give me 2055.6. Rn 2055.6. Wait. I think I see that. 36 plus 28 times 2 plus 19.8 times 2. Oh my god. I silap tekan. This is 131.60. 131.60. Okay, this is the total price, right? But they charge 6% service tax. So what you have to do? 131.60, which is the original price, have to plus with the 6%. And the 6%, you have to take 6% times with the total price, 131.60. Okay, so your answer will come out 131.60 plus with this, and then baru dapat final answer. Okay, let's press this first. So times 0.06, okay, 7.896, and then answer plus 131.6. Okay, my calculator give me 139.496, but it's a RM, so you should write in two decimal place. So it's 139.50 lah, 496 ma. So when you round off, it's 50 cents lah. Okay, so that's the total Akil's bill. Okay, all right, that's it. Okay, soalan D. Akil wants to buy a handbag made in the United States online as a gift for his wife in conjunction with their wedding anniversary. Okay, I don't care. He browses the internet and finds an attractive promotion as shown in the table 7.3. So dia nak beli handbag, and this is what he saw in the Shopee or the internet. Okay, so ada ni RM2099. This one is USD. Okay, what's this? ABC company in Malaysia is offering 25% discount. Okay, of the original price of 2099. Delivery is free throughout Peninsula Malaysia. Okay, let's find out the price after discount lah. So 2099 have to minus with 25%. So 25% times 2099 like that. So I'm just gonna press this whole thing and see what I get. Okay, 209 minus 0.25 times 209. Okay, I got 1574.25. 1574.25. So this is the price after discount. Okay, and it's in RM. Okay, for this one is apa? DEF company in the United States of America offering a promotional price of USD 275. It means this is memang the price lah. Yeah, this is memang the price already. Okay. So far so good. Okay, apa dia cakap bawah? Akil intends to make payment by credit card and the bank will charge additional 1% on each transaction from abroad. Huh? Okay, so additional 1% on each transaction. So it means like if you pay using credit card, you have to pay extra 1% lah. That's what it means, right? Yeah. Um, if the currency exchange rate for Malaysian ringgit is 1 ringgit equals USD 0.21, which offer should Akil choose? Give your justification. Huh. Interesting. Okay, so I think I have to find out this USD. I have to find out the United States punya back in RM dulu. Yeah, because we can't compare now. This is in RM currency. This one is USD currency. So I have to convert this to RM lah. And there is a method to convert it because it says here 275 USD. 1 ringgit is 0.21, right? So that means you want to convert to USD to RM, you have to divide 0.21. But if like that is times 0.21. Okay. So now USD 275. You have to convert to RM. So you divide with 0.21. But of course, this is not the answer yet. But let's just calculate this first. So my calculator give me 1309.52. Okay, actually got ada lagi banyak number after the two, tapi kita tulis macam ni dulu. Later we can use the answer button, so it's fine. Okay, this is the RM. This one is in RM already. But then they say you pay using credit card, they will charge additional 1%. So what do you think I have to do? I have to plus with 1309.52 plus with additional 1%. So 1 over 100 like that lah, times with 1309.52. I think that's what it means lah. Okay, tak apa, we tekan dulu answer plus 1 over 100 times answer. Okay, I got 1322.62. 1322.62. So that is the total amount lah yang you kena bayar kalau you beli handbag yang ini. If you buy the second handbag, this is what you have to end up paying. Okay. If the first handbag, you end up paying this one. This is the second. This is the first. So which offer should Akil choose? Of course, the more cheaper one, right? Yeah, the cheaper one. So the cheaper one is this one, I think. So I will just write which offer. Okay, what's the name of the handbag? United States. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, I think you have to mention the Syarikat DEF lah. Yeah, 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 this is Syarikat DEF. So which offer should Akil choose? So I'll just write here, Akil should choose DF company. DF company. Okay, give your justification. Okay, what's the justification? Okay, the justification I can write first. Since 1322.62 lesser than 1574.25, comma, and then write this, Akil should choose DF company. Okay, yeah, so I think if you write like that, it's good enough. Okay, sudah siap? Okay, last question now, number 17. Okay, this looks like a number base because I see this one already. So I know it's definitely from 4 chapter 2. Okay, a uniform unit camp was held at a rainforest reserve. What? Okay. A total of 248 students from 4 uniform units participated in the camp. Okay, 4, okay. Faham. Total is 248, alright, so that's the jumlah for everyone. Table 8 shows the number of participants representing each uniform unit. So ini semua bilangan serta. Okay, yang tak tulis base ni mesti means base 10 kan. Yeah, when they never write base in base 10. And then yang ni base 8 and then X tak tahu, calculate value of X. Okay, first you have to change 70 base 8 to base 10 dulu. Lepas tu baru ambil 248, tolak. Okay, that's the plan. Yeah, because you cannot tolak when the base tak sama. So kena samakan semua base dulu lah. So yang 70 base 8 ni kita kena tukar jadi base 10. Sebab dia bukan 70, dia bukan 70. Dia base 8. So you tak boleh sebut dia 70 macam tu. So how do you convert base 10? Okay, when you changing smaller base to base 10, you kena guna cara darab. Cara darab means you have to write down the base value atas. Base 8 means 8 power 0, 8 power 1 and then darab macam tu. So dia akan jadi 8 power 1 times 7 plus 8 power 0 times 0, which is 1 here. Eh? No, it's 0 here. So you just left with this 56 base 10. So now that everything is in base 10, now you can find your X. Okay, dia tak cakap X ni nak dalam base apa kan? That means you just write in base 10 lah. So just ambil 248 base 10 minus 65 base 10 minus 52 base 10 minus 56 base 10 and with that you will get the X lah. Yeah. So just use your calculator tekan semua. Okay, this one can use calculator sebab dia base 10. Yeah, kalau base 10 tolak boleh guna calculator. Okay, according to my calculator it says 75, so that's the answer 75. And for number based question, I always tell student write the base. Okay, kalau dia soalan asas nombor, write down the base. Okay, sudah siap. And tak ada unit for this. Ini bilangan peserta. So yeah, just write 75 enough. Okay, soalan B. The campsite are divided into 3 zones, which is organizer zone, zone A, and zone B. Where is it? Okay, you have zone A, zone B, and I'm assuming this one is the organizer zone. Yeah, because this is the only thing left, So I think this is the organizer zone lah. Okay, diagram 6 shows the area consists of a semicircle with a radius 28 meter. Okay, radius is the jari, means the distance from the center to the side here is 28 meters. Okay, in meters. And the shape of zone A, zone B are congruent. Okay, congruent means same shape, same size. So zone A dengan zone B ni dia punya size exactly the same. Yeah, exactly same thing, same size. Okay, and then use pi 3207. Okay, calculate area in meter square of zone A. Nak cari area sini. Okay, macam mana nak cari? Okay, I think I will take area of rectangle minus the semicircle, and after minus the semicircle, divide by 2 lah. Right? I think that's the plan. And that's the only way actually. Yeah, you cannot find the zone A area directly because like what is this shape, right? You don't tell me this is trapezium, ah. You jangan cakap like, oh sir, no no no, trapezium this line mesti straight punya. Bukan macam ni. Ini apa eh? So yeah, that's why I cannot find directly. I have to take area of rectangle minus semicircle and then baru bahagi dua. Okay, area of rectangle will be 180 times. Okay, the radius is 28. So imagine if here is 28. Here is also 28. So the whole line is 56 lah. Because 28 times 2. Okay. So the area of rectangle that is 180 minus pula times lah. Times 56. And the area will come out in meter square. Minus with the semicircle. Okay, for area of circle is the formula is pi r square. Times theta or 360 lah. But of course, if it's a full circle, then just do pi r square only. Okay. Alright, but it's a semicircle, so it will be 2207 times the radius 28 square times with theta, which is 180 because it's semicircle. Okay. Okay, after doing all this, you have to divide by 2. So I have to use a big bracket like that, and then divide by 2. Or you can write times 1 over 2 also can. It's the same meaning. Okay. But the important part here is you have to do this first. Yeah, the divide 2 last baru buat, You jangan buat sekarang. Yang bahagi 2 last baru buat. Okay, 180 times 56. Let's go use calculator. 100,800. Lepas tu tekan ni lah. 22 over 7 times 28 square divide 2. Alright, 1232. And I told you already, the bahagi 2 last kali baru tengok. Alright, 100,800 minus answer 8848. Okay, sekarang baru bahagi 2. 4424. Okay, the unit is in meter square. So that's the answer. Okay, I think finish already. Okay, continue. Okay, soalan C1. Alright, the participants of the camp consists of X male participants and Y girl participants. The number of male participants is not less than, okay, I see this word, I know already, it's from chapter 6. The linear inequality chapter. Keutasamaan linear. Okay, and this one high chance have to use graph paper one. Or maybe sometimes they give you square grid. Yeah, sometimes they might give you the square grid and then ask you to draw. Okay, so first step mesti memang tulis inequality dulu lah. Okay, so dia kata not less than. Not less than means the symbol has to be bigger or equals. Yeah, besar atau sama dengan. So number of male, they said is X. And then not less than, bigger sama dengan half. 1 over 2 lah. The number of girl participants, so Y. So that's your first inequality. So based on the given information, write, But there's only one. Wait, did I miss out something here? The participant of the camp of X male participant and what? Okay. Number of male X is not less than half. Okay, there's only one inequality. Does that mean I have to use back the atas punya information? Is it this one? The total 248? Okay, let's read back the A. Is this the A? Okay, yeah, this is the A. So a total of 248 students participate in the camp, right? So that's the total. So I think the two linear inequality, yeah, I think there's another one lah. X plus Y number total has to be equal to 248, right? But this one is inequality chapter. So takkan I tulis equals ini. So I think you have to write smaller equals lah. Okay, cannot bigger equals lah. Because if bigger equals means cannot already. Because yeah, they said a total of 248. So it means cannot more than that. Yeah. Okay, so that's it. So now we can do B. Okay, let's write nicely. There's another one is X bigger equals 1 over 2 like that. Okay, but actually I recommend not writing like this. Yeah, what I will do now, I will write the 1 over 2y here. And then X here. It means I will flip like that. Okay. And then the symbol have to terbalik also lah. Okay, so it will be like this. Okay. Okay, let me teach you how to macam mana nak tengok. So you can look at the arrow now. The tajam punya is like pointing to the Y, right? Pointing to 1 over 2y. So when you flip this, yeah, the arrow has to still point dekat 1 over 2y also. Okay. And let me tell you why. Let me tell you why is it better to write like that? Because later, after when you shade the region, you have to tengok bigger or smaller. Kalau bigger lorek atas, smaller lorek bawah, right? But you have to make sure the y is positive on the left side. Yeah, y has to be on the left hand side and it has to be positive. Then baru you boleh tengok. That is why I make sure my y on the left side now lah. Yeah. Because if I write like that I takut nanti bila saya lorek I lupa, I lupa terbalikkan. Then later I thought bigger, then the whole thing wrongly. So yeah, that's why I choose to do like that. Okay, with that being said, now number 2, for this part of question, use the graph paper on 38. Use scale 2 cm to 40 for both axes. Draw and shade the region that satisfy this one. Okay, let's see where's the graph paper. Okay, it's here. Okay, for this chapter, the 0, 0 always here one. Because tak positive. And they say 2 cm to 40, right? So I will go 8 kotak. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh my god. The graph paper they provide a bit small, so I'll start here lah. So 40, right? So I think I will go 40 and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 320. And then here guna 10 kotak. 40 until 400. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, this is Y, this is X. Okay, but before you draw the line, you have to cari the coordinate first. Yeah, you gonna cari coordinate. And there's only 2 lines. Yeah, there's only 2 lines. Okay, this is the first line, this is the second line. Okay, the first line is X plus Y equals 248. Okay, and this is a second line. Yeah, kalau ada X, ada Y means this is second line. So you have to cari coordinate. And then 1/2Y equals X, that's another line. And then kena cari 2 point also. Cari coordinates. Okay, equals X. Okay, bukan semua line yang kena cari coordinate. Ya, bukan semua line yang kena cari coordinate. Ada line yang tak payah cari coordinate. So, only line yang sengit kena cari points. Okay. So, how do you know whether it's sengit or tak sengit? Okay, kalau dia ada X, ada Y means dia mesti sengit. Okay. Alright, nanti X kosong, Y kosong. X kosong sini 248, Y kosong sini pun 248. So, is it possible to plot this 0, 248? If it's not possible, then we change another point lah. Okay, let's label everything first. 80, 120, plus 40, 160, plus 40, 200, plus 40, 240, plus 40, 280, plus 40, 320. Okay, this one just copy back. 120, 160, 200, 240, 280, 320, 360, 400. Okay, what I want is now 248, right? So 0, 248. Okay, I know 200 is here. 1 kotak is 4. Yeah, 1 kotak is 4. Because 10 kotak is 40 mah. So 1 kotak is 4 lah. 40 divide 10, right? So I want 248. So 240 plus 4 plus 4 lah. Tambah 2 kotak. But you have to plot when at here. So I think that's the point. 0, 248. So 0 and then 248 is 240 naik 2 kotak. Okay, same with here. 2480. So 240 also tambah 2 kotak. So it's here. Alright, now we can join the line. And always, when you join the line, I always say the same thing in all my videos. Check whether it's a solid line or a dash line. Yeah, a lot of students, they don't have this habit to check. And yeah, sometimes they want dotted line. If you draw solid line, then salah already. Okay, but for this question, actually, it's solid line lah. Yeah, it's solid line because the other equal punya symbol. Okay, so let's write the equation. X plus Y equals 248. And let me show you why is it solid line. So you can see it from here. Yeah, the other equal punya. The other equal. Dia ada sama dengan. Kalau dia ada line dekat bawah sama dengan means solid line. Okay. Alright, done that. Now let's do the other line. Okay, kalau ganti X kosong, Y kosong. Yeah, because if this is 0, your Y will be 0 times 2, which is 0 also. So the first point is 0, 0. Okay. And you can plot that, no problem. Okay, no problem. 0, 0, easy. Okay. Okay, what happens if you sub Y0? Mesti you get back the same result. Because when you sub X0, you get Y0. So if you sub Y0, you get back X0 also. So change to another point. And the way I always teach my student, I always tell them, go to the equation, jadikan X ataupun Y single dulu. Okay. Alright, you can jadikan Y single, but I will not do that because the X actually sudah single already. Yeah, so X is 1/2 times Y, which is same as Y/2. So I just have to think about nombor apa yang saya boleh letak dekat Y sini. But of course, you don't put 0 lah. If you put Y0, you will get back the same point. Okay? So you can choose somewhere further away from this point. Maybe 400, right? So if you take 400, is that, let's see what we get. So 400 divided 2, I get 200. Yeah, that means when y is 400, your x is 200. So yeah, this point is good. Yeah, boleh plot 200, 400. So this is the point I will end up using. Okay. Okay, so 200, 400. Okay, done. Now join this with the 0, 0, and you get that nice straight line. Okay, it's a solid line also. Yeah, it's a solid line also. Okay, what's the equation? I forgot. X plus y 248. 1 over 2y equals x. 1 over 2y equals x. Or maybe some student want to write y equals 2x can also. Yeah, because the 2 you want to pinna there also can. Yeah, same thing. Okay. Okay, now I think I will have to shade the region. Yeah, memang macam tu kan. So let's go back. Yeah, they say draw and shade the region, right? Okay, when you shade the region, this is where you have to look at the symbol, bigger or smaller. But you have to make sure the y is positive on the left side. If it's not positive on the left side, you tak boleh tengok. You have to make sure it's y on the positive on the left side. So you can see y is already positive on the left side, y is already positive on the left side. So now we can look at the symbol, look at the sign. So it is smaller, smaller. So I have to lorek bawah garisan. Both also smaller, right? So first garisan is this one. But if I want smaller means here and here for this line. And then for the other line, this one also smaller. So it will be here and here. So it's, yeah, you know where's the region already lah, which is the overlap region. The region overlap is this triangle down here. So that is the answer. Okay, so erase all this. Now we shade this region. Okay, of course, you better you use ruler lah. If you use ruler, all the lines will be parallel. And one more thing, jangan lorek sampai bawah x-axis. Jangan lorek sampai bawah x-axis. Salah tau. If lorek bawah sampai situ salah. Sebab x, y represents bilangan serta. Mana bilangan tak ada negatif. Tak boleh. So jangan lorek sampai bawah paksi x. Atas pun tadi sudah cakap mah. Tengok. Write two inequalities other than x bigger 0, y bigger 0. Yalah, means x and y mesti lebih daripada kosong. Sebab x, y tu bilangan. So that's why you tak boleh lorek bawah x-axis and ya tak boleh lorek sampai negatif lah. Okay, that's all. Right? Draw and shade the region. Okay. Part 2 sudah siap. 4 markah dekat sini. Okay, 2 markah tadi pun sudah tulis. Okay, sekarang part 3. Okay, based on the graph, for 120 female participants, determine the range of male. Okay, 120 female means X 120 or Y 120. Kalau you sudah lupa, you tengok balik atas lah. Female girl mah is Y. So Y. So when Y is 120, nak cari range. Okay, cari range means you kena tulis X in between, and then sini tulis X minimum, sini tulis X maximum. Ya, kena cari max minimum, X maximum. And then cara kita tulis julat, dia punya range is like that. Okay. Okay, first we have to find out the minimum and maximum value from our graph. So kita kena pergi Y cari 120. Okay, sini sudah jumpa. Okay, and then what you do is you tarik satu dotted line sampai shaded region. And the moment dia sentuh shaded region, you tarik bawah. Okay. Alright. When you tarik bawah, baca point ni, itulah you punya jawapan. Tapi, you kena make sure this value mesti tak boleh ada decimal. And one more, dia tak boleh berada di dash line. Okay, so let me repeat one more time. You can only take the answer when the value tak ada decimal, and also dia bukan dash line. So tell me now, adakah ini value decimal or no decimal? Okay, 40 and 80 exactly middle is 60. So dia tak ada decimal. And one more thing, this line is a solid line, so boleh ambil. Ya, boleh ambil. So that's the answer, minimum 60. Okay, but imagine if it's a dash line, then tak boleh already, because dash line means dia tak boleh sama dengan. So that means you have to maybe go further one kotak. Then baru boleh ambil. But of course you have to make sure you ambil yang dalam shaded region also lah. Dalam shaded region. Okay. Okay, so that's how it is. Okay, for maximum you keep going. Yeah, because maximum you have to go until the last contact point with shaded region. Okay, I can see it's here. Yeah, sini kan. So what you have to do? Tarik bawah and baca and see what what we get lah. Okay. Okay, wait for me a bit. Okay, so it's 120 tambah 2 kotak, which is 120 plus 4 plus 4. So 128. Okay, 128 tak ada decimal, and also this line is a solid line. So boleh ambil sebenarnya. So 128 is good. like that. So the range will be X between 60 and 128. This is how you write it. Okay. Okay, some student they will make a careless mistake for this part. Some student I pernah tengok dia buat apa tahu. Dia pergi ambil ini maximum, pergi tolak minimum. Sebab dia ingat range mah. Ya, yang apa? Yang sukatan serakan kan. Ya, like some student made this mistake I pernah tengok. Dia bila dia cari range dia ingat ambil maximum minus minimum. Okay, itu bab lain. Itu chapter yang measures of dispersion. Where you have to take the maximum value minus minimum kan. To find the dispersion. The measures of dispersion. Chapter yang ada sisian piawai tu. Tapi ini chapter lain. So jangan buat macam tu please. So for this chapter inequalities, when they ask for range, this is what they want actually. Bukannya ambil ini tolak ni No. Okay. Alright. That's all. Oh, finish Oh, wow. Okay, done. Oh, ada lagi satu. Okay, D. Okay, what is this? Medical lah. So I should be giving you the medical insurance formula right now. Okay, there's no space here, so I'm just gonna create a document. So I don't even want to read the question. I just wanna give you the medical insurance formula. Because if you don't know this, okay, of course I can straight away do the question, but if I do also, you won't understand one Yeah, because it will look easy when I do it because I already know all this. So I will explain it to you lah. But of course, if you all know what I will say now, if you all already power this one, you can skip this explanation if you want. Okay, but I will do it anyway. So medical insurance, what you have to know. Sometimes they will ask you to find company, the amount yang company kena bayar. Sometimes they might ask for the policy holder kena bayar. And usually they will give a name for the policy holder. Maybe Ali or Abu or Siti or whatever. Okay, kalau dia nak cari company, step 1 is ambil the medical cost minus deductible. Ataupun medical bill minus deductible. Okay, step 2, darab dengan besar punya persen. Big percentage. Yeah, because they will give you co-insurance punya percentage dalam soalan. And kalau nak cari company mesti darab dengan besar punya persen. Because company is responsible for the besar punya persen. And then sudah siap lah. That's all. Sudah siap. Ya, itu je. Tapi kalau policy holder, dia ada 3 step. Ada 3 steps. First step, ambil medical cost minus deductible. Medical cost means dia punya rugi lah. Dia punya kerugian. Ya, kerugian. Dia punya medical bill. Okay, step 2, you darab dengan small punya persen. Ya, because policy holder mah. So, dia mesti tanggung kecil punya percentage. And then step number 3 is you tambah balik dengan deductible. Means you ambil jawapan yang daripada atas tu, darab tambah dengan deductible. Okay. You kena tahu ini baru boleh jawab medical insurance punya soalan. Okay. So, with that, now let's do this question. Okay, D. Muzaffar is one of the camp participant had suffered an injury when assembling the tent. Okay, he suffered injury. He was sent to the hospital for treatment. Okay, he has been covered by medical insurance policy with deductible 350. Okay, that's the deductible. Co-insurance, you see, mesti ada satu percentage yang besar, satu yang kecil. So yang besar is company responsible. 30 is the policy holder. In this case is Muzaffar, Madagascar. Okay, no, Muzaffar. Okay, calculate the medical treatment cost. Oh, calculate medical treatment cost means dia nak cari ni tau. Oh, so this soalan they decide to twist sikit tau. Usually they ask amount yang kena company tanggung ataupun policy holder tanggung. Tapi ini dia nak cari medical cost. Maksudnya nanti dia kena bagi saya final answer. Dia kena either bagi ni ataupun bagi ni. Ya. Mesti. Kalau dia tak bagi ni then tak boleh cari dah. So let's keep reading. Calculate the medical treatment cost in RM borne by Mustafa. Oh, okay, never mind. never mind. No. I was wrong about. I thought they want me to find medical costs, but I didn't read the whole thing yet. So they actually want medical costs borne by Muzaffar. So yeah, actually they tak twist pun lah soalan dia. Yeah, we just use this formula basically. Because by Muzaffar so you just use this, and definitely they will give me the medical costs. Okay. So, and the insurance company, if the total treatment cost is 950. Yeah. Ini 950 is the medical cost. Lah, that's the treatment So ini dia punya rugi dia lah. So state which party bond the higher medical treatment cost, justify your answer. Oh, so I think I have to calculate both Yeah, I think I have to calculate both, right? Because kita kena tengok which party. So for Muzaffar, I calculate here. Okay lah, tak mau lah. I calculate company sini lah. Sini company. And then sini Muzaffar. And then later we tengok siapa yang kena borne the higher medical cost. Okay, siapa yang kena tanggung lebih. Okay, so justify your answer. Okay, nanti kita tulis sebab. Okay, company. So according to the formula, take the medical cost 950 tolak dengan deductible berapa? 350, okay. So dapat 600 tapi kena darab dengan besar persen sebab company. So 70 or 100. Okay, potong 420. Okay, done. This is the amount borne by company. Now for Muzaffar, same step. The first step is also same. Buat macam ni, tapi kena darab dengan small percent, 30 or 100. Potong, dapat 180. But there's one more step, which is plus with deductible. What you get here, 180 plus 350. Let me press. Okay, 530. Okay, sudah siap. Can you see how easy it is for me? And you know why? It's because because I have all this in my head. That's why. Okay. So if you all struggle medical insurance punya soalan, make sure you remember this. Okay, let's go back to the soalan. Okay, state which party borne the higher medical cost. So siapa? I can see Muzaffar lah. Yeah, Muzaffar. But why ah? Why is it Muzaffar borne higher one ah? Bukan ke company yang kena tanggung lebih. So I think it's because there's a deductible. There's a deductible. And also co-insurance percent lah. Itu yang menyebabkan Muzaffar bayar lebih. Okay, so I'll just write here the reason. Okay, they ask for reason. So the reason I'll write since 420, I mean 530. 530 yang Muzaffar punya more than 420. So comma, which party? Muzaffar. Muzaffar borne the higher medical treatment costs. Borne the higher medical treatment costs. Okay. Okay, for those yang nak tulis dalam bahasa Melayu, feel free. You boleh tulis dalam bahasa Melayu juga. Just write Muzaffar apa? Muzaffar menanggung kos rawatan yang lebih tinggi. Can already. Yeah. So that's the answer. Okay, kertas peperiksaan tamat. Alright, I told you in the beginning of this video that this will be my last set I did for the batch 08, right? So, yeah, this will be my last maths paper lah. And hopefully you all learn something from all my videos, okay? And I wish you all good luck for your maths exam. Okay, the date I'm recording this is 24 November. So, yeah, so it's like 24 November. And your maths exam is 1 December. So it's like this is the date I'm recording this is exactly 1 week before the maths exam lah. Yeah, and then tomorrow is your BM exam. Yeah, the date I'm recording this tomorrow is your BM exam. Okay lah. Anyways, I hope you all learn something from this. Okay, it's been a interesting journey for me also. Okay, to how to say to teach you all the best 08. Okay, and if you all have anything you wanna any feedback or anything you want to tell me, you can leave a comment. Yeah. Okay, so that's all for now lah. I don't know when I will make more videos. Maybe next year SPM lah. So that's all. All right. So yeah, I'll see you when I see you lah. Okay. Okay. Bye bye.